हम लोग सारे बच्चे बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं कुछ भी सर ठीक है हेलो 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 गुड इवनिंग can anyone please tell whether I am audible or not? Hello everyone, good evening. Can you please confirm whether I am audible or not? Anyone? We are reaching almost the last portion of our syllabus and of the marathon. Oh. Loud and alive as always, sir. Okay, very nice. Yes, so we are meeting after a long time, and today is the agrochemicals. As you all know, this is like there is a very old saying in our soil science that was told by our seniors that soil science gives you a seat, but agrochemicals and the minors gives you a rank. All right, because soil science, though every one of you are reading, and everyone who are outside also, they are also doing the same. So please do not expect a huge margin or huge gap in soil science. So the gap will be created in agrochemicals and all these minor portions only. So please be very thorough with it. Today we are doing agrochemicals, and on 25th, probably 25th or 26th, we will do the basic chemistry as demanded by all of you. The management has agreed, but anyhow, we will see. So today it is agrochemicals, and all of you know it is one of the most important parts of the physical science. Yes. So without wasting much time, let us start. See, agrochemicals, how whoever takes the class or in whichever way you read, good evening everyone. In whichever way you read agrochemicals ka dikkat, the problem with agrochemicals is you have to remember a lot of things, and whatever you have to remember, like there is no other shortcut or there is no other trick for that. All right, so it is a kind of remembering wala subject, but still we will try. We will try to see the questions, what are the previous year questions. We will solve some PYQs also in the last, and we will try our best to make it as easy as possible to you guys and make it interesting. Someone has commented, sir हम लोग सारे बच्चे आपके ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म वाले बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं, हम लोगों का तो हो जाएगा ना सर? बिल्कुल, मेहनत करने से तो हो ही जाएगा, why not? मेहनत is the only thing that will take you, if your efforts are honest, if your efforts are true, definitely हो जाएगा. So the first slide of today's class, pesticide. We all know what is pesticide. The term pesticide is derived from the Latin suffix "cado", which means killer, right? It means to kill. So कुछ killing का बात चल रहा है यहाँ पे. Someone or something is getting killed here. So pesticides are legally classed as economic poisons. Economic poisons. Please remember the keywords, and in exam you can expect questions from these keywords. All right, and are defined as any substance used for. Here comes all the keywords consecutively. Please remember: controlling, preventing, destroying, repelling, or mitigating any pest. Now all of you know, since all of you are agriculture students, same, the pest के अंदर क्या क्या आता है? It will be weed, it can be weed also, it can be rodent, it can be insect, it can be fungus, it can be anything, any pathogen, anything. So economic poison is the keyword that you should remember here. And all this, any pesticide might do more than one of these or even a single action of this. In that case also it will be a pesticide only. So controlling, preventing, destroying, repelling, here you can see or ka matlab hai any one of this will classify it as a pesticide, right? Then the properties of pesticide, that is a very common sense only. Common sense hone ke baad bhi I have put it here because questions come from here. So what are the properties? Without causing phytotoxicity. Yes, phyto का मतलब होता है, phyto is plant. So whatever pesticide we are going to apply, that should not harm the plant, because as an agriculture student, as an agriculturist, plant is what we are going to deal with. अगर plant ही मर गया फिर तो कोई मतलब नहीं है ना? Non-toxic to non-target species, right? We are targeting species A, उसके साथ साथ B, C, D सारे मर गए, that is not desirable, right? Because B, C, D might be beneficial also for us. So it should be non-toxic to non-target species, including natural enemies, bees and fish. Bees, the most important pollinators, we cannot harm the bees. Then it should have minimal harmful effects and to human and other animals, no harmful residues, be compatible with a wide range of agricultural inputs. But the problem with this is, in actual world, in whatever you say, in actual world, none of this is possible, right? There is no single pesticide that can have all these properties. That is the sad part. Even today also, if you see in the market, there is no such pesticide which has all these properties. So some way or the other, we have to compromise, okay? So here I have listed the classification and the purpose and function for you. I think all of you know this. ये तो देख के पता चलता है. This is a normal English language only. Insecticide kill insects, fungicide kills fungi, herbicides to kill weeds, acaricides to kill mites and ticks, nematicides for nematodes. And here I have listed the examples. If any one of you want to take a screenshot, how many questions are coming from agrochemicals? Vipin, it depends on year to year. जैसे 2021 it came around 10, 2022 thoda zyada, then again less in 2023. So average you can expect 9 to 10 questions. So if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot. I am moving side. This table is important because it not only teaches you English but also teaches you the examples, which are very important, which does what, that might be an important question. So if you want to take a screenshot, pause here and take the screenshot. All right, moving on. The second, this slide is also the continuation of the previous slide also, previous slide only. Here you can see insect attractant, repellent, fumigant, plant growth regulators. All of this will come under the pesticide only. All right. This also, if you want to take a screenshot, you can take by pausing the video. Okay. Moving on. So this slide, I would like to call it the question slide. Okay. Because whatever has been listed here are all potential questions, and mostly इस बार क्वेश्चन लेवल हार्ड या फिर मॉडरेट टू इजी. यार इस बार का तो एग्जाम अभी तक हुआ नहीं, कैसे बताए, बट प्रोबेबली आई फील इट विल बी हार्ड, इट विल बी ऑन द हार्डर साइड because of all this NEET leak and everything that has happened, you know. So probably NTA will make the standard higher. You can expect a high standard question like the trend of the previous year. Okay. So this slide is the question slide because all the points that have been listed here are potential questions, and इनमें से बहुत सारे, many of these are already asked in the previous year questions. Okay. So pesticide registered for use in the country. This is a very, very common question. Whenever you are going to read agrochemicals, this should be the first question. The problem with this is this changes every year. So I have brought the specific data for you as of 31st March. Every year, 31st March, this data is released by the Central Insecticide Board, that's CIBRC. You all know. Can anyone write where this CIBRC is situated? CIBRC कहाँ पे located है? CIBRC कहाँ पे located है? Anyone? CIBRC and DPPQ? Yes, very good, Vipin. It's Faridabad. Very nice. So every year, Faizabad nahi hai, Kuntal, it is Faridabad. It is Faridabad. That is also a very potential question. That will also come later. Don't worry. Everything is written in this slide. एक बार ये PPT पढ़ के जाओगे, I can guarantee you almost all the questions from chemicals, whatever is in this slide, what we are going to cover today, इसके बाहर से नहीं आएगा. Okay. We have consulted with the mentors of other subjects also, and we have prepared this. Okay. So pesticides used for registered in this country is 372. Last year it was less. कुछ साल का पहले का डेटा देखोगे तो it was only 349. So this is the most current data which I have seen myself. So this is my guarantee. You can go with it. This is 372. It is there on the website. You can check in the website as well. Pesticide banned for manufacture, import and use in India is 49. This is also this year's data. Banned for use in India but manufactured for export is 5. This is this year's data. Now, Again, this is another, so here you get already 3 questions. Then this first used insecticide is Paris Green, which was made in 1867. This is another question, question number 4. And it is a mixture of arsenite that is AS3 and copper acetate, and was used specifically against Colorado beetle. Okay, used specifically against Colorado beetle, mixture of arsenite and copper acetate, and it is Paris Green 1867. This whole statement can give you 2 to 3 questions, right? Order of persistence of insecticides in environment, very important: organochlorine, organophosphate and carbamates. What are these? We will see later in the slides, don't worry. Pesticides approved use for control of desert locust: malathion, fenvalerate and quinalphos. This is also 2026 data I have taken from the official website of DPPQS. All right. State having highest agrochemical consumption, Uttar Pradesh. This is a old data because I was not able to find this year's one. If you find anywhere, let me know, but probably I think this is correct. Highest insecticide consuming crop across India and across the world, it is cotton. All right. कहीं पे भी हो, highest consuming crop is cotton. Because cotton हम खाते नहीं है ना, so there is not that much control. You can apply as much as you want. Pesticide consumption order in the world, these two are very important. Please pay attention. Pesticide consumption order in world: herbicide, insecticide, fungicide. But in India, it is opposite. It is insecticide, fungicide, herbicide. Okay, इसको ऐसे याद रख सकते हो. HIF for the world and for India it is IFH. ठीक. Destructive. Then this last statement also contains 2 questions. The Insecticides Act 1968, very important. Destructive Insects and Pest Act 1914. 1914 is the starting of the First World War as well. All right. So this I think all of you know. Here यहाँ पे जो note लिखा हुआ है LD50. What is LD50? It means milligram of the chemical needed to kill 50% of the test population. So, how much milligram of the chemical is required to kill 50% of a test population? That is called LD50. Can anyone write the full form of LD50? What is LD? LD का मतलब क्या है? Can anyone write? The unit of LD50 is milligram per kg of body weight, and dermal LD50 is always greater than oral LD50. That is common sense, right? Lethal dose, exactly, perfect. LD50 means milligram of chemical needed to kill 50% of the test population. Now you tell me, if LD50 is less, is that more toxic, or LD50 is more, that means more toxic? Can you write that? A chemical is having very less LD50 value. Is it more toxic or is it less toxic? Statement based question and assertion reason type question can come from this, all right, because this is a very critical concept of pesticide. More toxic. When it is more toxic, LD50 is less, then it is more toxic. So it is a common sense only, right? Because LD50 is the milligram of the chemical. Milligram, say suppose chemical A, it requires 10 milligram to kill, say there is a population of 100 rats. So it takes 10 milligram to kill 50 rats. Say rodenticide B takes 5 milligram to kill 50 rats. So definitely this will be more toxic, right? Definitely this will be more toxic. Yes, I think it is a very easy concept. We have to don't dive deep. So LD50 means milligram of the chemical needed to kill 50%. Unit, please remember the unit. Milligram per kg of body weight. And can you tell me why dermal LD50 is always greater than oral LD50? It means what? Dermal LD50 yani ki if you are applying it dermally, then the organism has more capacity to take that chemical, right? For dermal LD50, you have to apply more chemical to make the chemical effective. Whereas in oral, it is directly going inside the organs. That is why thoda sa kam mein bhi it becomes effective, right? So we are coming to insecticides. Insecticides are chemicals which are used to control insects, definitely, by killing them or preventing them from engaging in undesirable or destructive behaviors. This is a very normal definition. So different generation of insecticides. This table is also very, very, very important. Different generations of insecticide. Generation का मतलब क्या है? What do you mean by a generation of insecticide? See, generation, if you see from first generation to fourth generation, you can see a gradual shift in pattern. How the chemical is working, how the pesticide is working. There is a gradual shift in the pattern if you see. See, in the first generation, these are the inorganics, arsenic, lead arsenate. These are very broad spectrum insecticides. These are very toxic materials. You apply to it, anything that is there, it will get killed. So this is like a full-time killer. It will kill everyone. Then as you go further generation wise, here you can see organochlorine like the DDT, OP, then carbamates, pyrethroids. These are becoming more target specific, right? These are attacking the targets and leaving the non-targets. Then further, if you go to third generation, here you can see insect growth regulators. These are more target specific. Like they are not having any effect on the plants. They are not having any effect on the non-target organisms. जिसको मारना नहीं चाहते हैं, उसके ऊपर इसका कोई effect नहीं पड़ रहा है. And as you come to the fourth generation, here you can see neonicotinoids and semiochemicals. Semiochemicals means it affects the communication of the insects, right? So this is becoming more like non-toxic to the non-target. So as the generation is shifting, you can see that there is a shift in the pattern how the insecticide is working, and there is a shift in how it is becoming more and more safer to the humans, and it is becoming less toxic to us and all the other animals and all the other non-target organisms. So that is a generation. यहाँ पे all these 4 generations and इसका examples, these are very important. You can expect questions from here. I hope you have understood what is a generation. ये generation क्यों होता है? Because you can see with each passing generation, the pattern of mode of action is changing. All right. So it was inorganics, then OCOP, insect regulators, and then neonicotinoids and semiochemicals, right? So now we have to come to classification of insecticides. Classification of insecticide can be done in a lot of ways. So based on the mode of entry into the insect body, okay? First classification is based on generation. This classification that we saw, this was based on generation. This is number 1. Then this is number 2, based on the origin and source of supply. Sorry. Then this is second, based on the origin and source of supply. You can see inorganic insecticide, then organic insecticide. Inorganic includes arsenate and fluorine compounds, which are majorly toxic to a broad spectrum of organisms. Then organic insecticides are insecticides of animal origin. In this slide also, everything, not everything, most of the things can be a question. Here you can see, this is a very, very important question. All right. Nereis toxin, which is isolated from marine annelid, Lumbineris heteropoda. Please see the keywords. This is one, this is one, this scientific name is one. Synthetic Nereis is also called Cartap hydrochloride. This is 4. So in this statement, you can get at least 4 questions. All right. Then plant origin insecticides or botanical insecticides. These are nicotinoids, pyrethroids, rotenoids, etc. Then synthetic organic insecticides. All of you know this. Organothiocyanate, organophosphorus compounds, carbamates, chlorinated hydrocarbons like endosulfan, then hydrocarbon oils. So this is based on origin and source of supply. So majorly it can be divided into inorganic and organic. Inorganic, it will be animal origin, plant origin, synthetic organic, and hydrocarbon oils. Okay. If you want to take a screenshot of this page also, you can take. Otherwise, you can get the PDF of this at the end of this lecture. There is this procedure. I think you know it by now. Okay, moving on. So classification of insecticide based on the mode of entry into the insect body. All of you know this. You have all done entomology course. So contact poison, stomach poison, fumigants, and systemic insecticides. What is a contact poison? Contact poison enters the insect body through spiracles, trachea, or cuticle. Kills insects only upon contact. Kill insects only upon contact with their body. Example. Whatever you read in agrochemicals, you have to remember the examples. This is the sad part, but kitna bhi sad ho, we cannot do anything. We have to read, right? Then stomach poison, it acts on the digestive system when insects ingest treated plant parts. Example, calcium arsenate, lead arsenate. Then fumigants, all of you know, fumigants means fumigation. Volatile chemicals toxic to insects penetrate through spiracles. Since it is a fumigation, like it is a volatile chemical, So it can only enter through spiracle because you know insects respire through spiracle. उनका जो body होता है, body के दो side में wind pipes are there like this, like it will not go out of the body definitely. So these are the spiracles. From this only it can enter, right? And fumigants का सबसे बेहतरीन example है aluminium phosphide, then ethylene dibromide, carbon disulfide, and HCN, right? Then systemic insecticides, they move through the vascular system of plant to poison insects feeding on them, highly effective against sap-sucking pests and vectors like leafhoppers, whitefly, thrips, aphids. They are called translaminar insecticides. This is very, very important. They are also called translaminar insecticides. Examples are malathion, diazinon, spinosad. Okay. So how this systemic insecticide work? These systemic insecticides get soluble into the plant sap. Okay. You apply it into the plant, it gets soluble into the plant sap and it travels throughout the body part of the plant by means of xylem, okay, by means of vascular tissue of the plant, xylem and phloem. And it goes to the leaves and it goes to all parts of the plant. So when there is a sap sucking insect, here you can see why it is effective against the sap sucking insect mostly. Because when the insect is sucking the sap, they take a huge amount of sap inside them because for their nutritional need. In that case, the huge amount of sap, that sap acts as a poison for them. Okay, that sap is acting as a poison reservoir for those insects. They are taking in the sap that is going inside from whichever plant part, does not matter. If you apply it in the leaves, if you spray it in the leaves, it will move throughout the plant and make the whole plant body poisonous for the insect, not for us. And from wherever the insect eats it, it will ingest a huge amount of sap and that sap will result in disruption of the insect. Okay. Then classification of insecticide based on mode of action. Okay. So these are physical poison, brings the killing of insects by exerting a physical effect. Example, heavy oils, tar oils, etc. Because if you apply oil, it will cause death by asphyxiation. You know the meaning of asphyxiation? Can anyone write what is asphyxiation? Let us check your English also. What do you mean by asphyxiation? Is anyone there who is going to write? Even if you don't know the meaning, you can use your common sense, right? You are applying oil. You are applying oil to the insect. It causes death by asphyxiation. How? If you apply Vaseline to the insect, we used to do that during our insect collection. We used to apply the body spray also to the insects. How it kills? I told you, no, insects will have spiracles on both sides. So if you apply heavy oil, these spiracles will be jammed. If you apply Vaseline, if you apply body spray, these spiracles will get jammed. That will result in death by asphyxiation. Asphyxiation means lack of respiration, lack of oxygen. Yes, it is like dam ghut ke marna. It is the exact Hindi, deprived of oxygen. So Rohit sir is here with the answer and Harshvardhan is also here. Okay, good to see you. Don't know sir, abhi pata chal gaya na, deprived of oxygen. The spiracles will be covered. The spiracles will be covered by the heavy oil. It will be covered by the Vaseline. That will result in lack of oxygen to enter. Respiration na hone ki wajah se that insect will die. Fine. That is a physical poison. It is having a physical effect. So iska examples, please remember heavy oils and tar oils. So fine. Then protoplasmic poison. Protoplasmic poison, it is, you can understand it from the heading only. A toxicant responsible for precipitation of protein, especially destruction of cellular protoplasm of midgut epithelium. Example, arsenic compounds. Then respiratory poisons, again chemicals which block cellular respiration. Example, hydrogen cyanide. Hydrogen cyanide binds with the pigments and they block the cellular respiration. Carbon monoxide, yes, we all know carbon monoxide. Then nerve poison, chemicals which block the acetylcholinesterase, because you know neurons, ऐसे neurons होता है, and this part is called synapse, जहाँ पे one neuron is connected to another neuron, and in this part there is a specific nerve transmitter that is called acetylcholine. So this part is disrupted and the nerve transmission cannot happen from one neuron to other neuron. That is how the nerve poisons work, and इसका सबसे बेहतरीन example है organophosphates and carbamates. All right. Then chitin inhibitors interfere with process of synthesis of chitin. We all know chitin is the exoskeleton of the insects. Yes, we humans and mammals have endoskeleton, that is our bones, but insects have the exoskeleton, that is the chitin, due to which normal molting and development is disrupted. Example, novaluron, diflubenzuron and buprofenzin. Then general poisons, compounds which include neurotoxic symptoms after some period and do not belong to any of the above categories. This is a general classification. Okay, moving. This is a very important question. PYQ 2020 21 था 22 था, I think 2021. This table, from this table you can get at least, you can expect at least 1 or 2 questions, because this is very, very, very important. All right, based on the level of toxicity, insecticides can be classified into extremely toxic, highly toxic, moderately toxic, slightly toxic. You have to remember these names as it is, because the PYQ which I am talking about in 2021, they have asked highly toxic. So if you think अरे highly और extremely तो almost same ही है, highly का मतलब भी बहुत ज़्यादा, extremely भी बहुत ज़्यादा, but you cannot do that. You have to remember as it is. Extremely toxic तो extremely toxic, highly toxic is highly toxic only. All right. Then you have to remember the level also. Here the level, we have done it for you. This slide has been prepared by Rohit. That's a great job he has done. So here you can see the symbols also. These are also very important. Poison with skull, this is extremely toxic. Then poison, then danger, then caution. This also you have to remember as it is. कि danger or poison तो पास पास है, caution भी पास पास है. No, you have to remember as it is. And then the color. The PYQ that I am talking about, the previous year question that I am talking about, in that they have asked the color only. Okay. So यहाँ पे question आ सकता है from this column, from this column, from this column. Already we can see 3 questions are arsenic 3 toxicity is explained by this LD50. Yes, कोई सा भी chemical का तो you can denote it. Which quiz? There are some other metrics also, LD50, LC50. But yes, any chemical, I think you can explain by the LD50 value. LD50 value कितना है उसके ऊपर its toxicity, or it is called potency of the insecticide. Potency मतलब power of the insecticide, that can be told. Okay, so please remember the color. I don't know if you can see the color or not clearly. So extremely toxic is red, then highly toxic is yellow, then moderately toxic is blue, and then slightly toxic is green. ये याद रखना easy है, but these are also you have to remember. Okay, then this oral LD50 and dermal LD50 you can read, majorly not as important as these 3 columns, but I would suggest you should read this. But fine, even if you don't remember the values exactly, you can see the ranges are pretty easy to remember. 1 to 50, 51 to 500, it's a 10 times increase. Then 501 to 5000, again a 10 times increase and greater than 5000. And here dermal LD50, you can see just 2-3 slides back we read that dermal LD50 value is always greater than oral LD50 value, because dermally the insects are more immune to take more of the chemicals. That is why dermal LD50, when you are applying dermally, you need more of the chemical to kill that same insect, whereas for oral less chemical application से भी वो मर सकता है. ठीक है. Here also you can see it increases in the factor of 10. All right. हो गया. Now comes this column, which is the most important column. इसमें समझाने का कुछ नहीं है, but you have to remember the examples. All right. Monocrotophos, dichlorovos, I think all of you have heard these things. You are doing your BSc में तो ये चलता ही है. Like in the fields where you have done your plot work, or also in the entomology, you can read this. Then again, highly toxic में आता है endosulfan, quinalphos. Then for moderately toxic, glyphosate. Glyphosate is widely used nowadays in rice and other places where this is a non-selective herbicide, right? then mancozeb, clothianidin, carbendazim, sulfur. Okay. This one you can take a screenshot and read for yourself. In this I have listed the mode of actions and also the chemical subgroups. All right. So you can take a screenshot and read it. I can understand remembering all this is a bit difficult, लेकिन इसमें समझाने का भी कुछ नहीं है. If you want, you can remember. You can remember the important ones also if you want. बाकी तो what can I say? But here you can see the mode of action is written, so you can have a specific idea how the insecticide works actually. Site 2 electron transport inhibitors, site 1 electron transport inhibitors. Okay. Now the synthetic organic insecticides, the most important, jahan se you can expect lots and lots of questions, which is a very scoring portion and also a very questionable portion. Okay. So organochlorine insecticides are mainly classified into two categories. These are chlorinated hydrocarbons and cyclodiene compounds. Okay. Chlorinated hydrocarbons, यहाँ पे you can see chlorinated hydrocarbons का photo. Chlorinated hydrocarbons, okay, यानी उसमें chlorine होगा and hydrocarbon होगा. Chlorinated hydrocarbons example is DDT, BHC, methoxychlor and linden. Okay. Mode of action interferes with the nervous system by disrupting voltage gate sodium channels, causing spontaneous neuron firing, muscle spasm and ultimately death. Okay. Cyclodiene compounds का सबसे best example है dieldrin. Cyclodiene insecticides primarily work by blocking the chloride ion channel associated with the GABA, right? Gamma aminobutyric acid receptor, GABA antagonist in the insect nervous system. So what is the major difference? Here you can see it is the sodium channel in case of chlorinated hydrocarbons. Here you can see in chlorinated hydrocarbons, it is the blocking of sodium channels. In case of cyclodiene compounds, it is the blocking of the chloride ion channel, right? So यहाँ पे आया एक definition, ठीक है? Then this is also called GABA antagonist. GABA antagonist is gamma aminobutyric acid जो है उसका antagonist. That is, it competes with GABA for the GABA receptor channels. Okay. Then this is a very important question. This has come before also, and there is a huge chance this might come this year also. Diels-Alder reaction. Okay. Reaction discovered by Diels and Alder in 1928. Diels-Alder reaction is used for the preparation of cyclodiene compounds, that is dieldrin. This dieldrin is prepared by Diels-Alder reaction. Okay. The antidote of organochlorine insecticides are barbiturates. These are phenobarbital and pentabarbital. Okay. Then DDT, all the statements that are written in DDT are potential questions. Okay. So we will mark the questions here also and we will move on with this. DDT was first synthesized in 1874 by Zidler. Question number 1. In 1939, Paul Muller found its insecticidal property for the first time. Question number 2. Okay. Then dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane is a stomach and contact insecticide. Question number 3. DDT is a mixture of PP-DDT and OP-DDT. I think you know what this PP and OP means. This is ortho, this is para. Okay. Para and ortho, you know, in the benzene ring. This portion is called para and this portion is called ortho. Okay. So PP-DDT more toxic is 80%. And OP-DDT, that is the ortho-DDT, is less toxic and it is only 20%. Theek? This is question number 4. Then question number 5 is harmful effect of DDT was written by Rachel Carson in Silent Spring in 1962. This is question number 5. And from this statement, you can get question in a lot of ways, right? Rachel Carson, Silent Spring can come in match the following. Like they give the name of the books and the authors in 2 columns. In that it can come. The what it is about, what it was about, that is also a question, and the year also it is a question, right? So you have to remember that full. Then it was first banned in USA in 1972. It is majorly due to the effect of this book only, The Silent Spring. And then in India in 1989, now use of DDT in agriculture is banned. It's only used for mosquito control. HIL, what is the full form of HIL? Can anyone write? HIL is the largest producer of DDT उसमें भी the DDT that is produced, majority of it is exported to other countries. Okay. Can anyone write what is HIL? कोई नहीं, you will not write, I will only write it for you. HIL is ठीक है, Hindustan Insecticides Limited, that is HIL. That is the largest producer of DDT. That is a factory situated in India, but majority of this production is either used for mosquito control or it is exported to other countries, right? Then BHC, BHC is also very, very important. BHC का full form है benzene hexachloride. Yes, benzene hexachloride. It is an isomer of hexachlorocyclohexane with a chemical formula of C6H6Cl6. Here you can see C6H6 and Cl6, right? Among all the isomers, total isomer number is 8. This is an important question. Of hexachlorocyclohexane, benzene hexachloride BHC, gamma HCH is most effective and is known as linden or gamaxine. Okay. This gamma hexachlorocyclohexane is the most effective and it is known as linden or gamaxine. Gamaxine का तो समझ में आ रहा है because of the gamma, but this इसका नाम linden है because Linden discovered it. Okay, Linden was the name of the scientist. Fine. Its acute mammalian toxicity is higher than DDT. This is also a very, very important question. It is a highly purified product containing 99% of gamma isomer of HCH, is known as linden in honor of Van de Linden in 1949. It is in the name of the scientist. Penetrates insect cuticles rapidly, exerting significant fumigant action in dry atmosphere, causes tremors, loss of coordination, convulsion and prostration. Fine, that is okay. But the important questions in this part is total isomer is 8. Out of that, this benzene hexachloride BHC and gamma HCH. Gamma HCH are the most effective and is known as linden or gamaxine. Okay. Then coming to endosulfan. It is a non-systemic contact and stomach poison with slight fumigant action. It is effective against defoliators, borers, sucking insects and mites, but it is mostly considered as safe for honeybees. This is also a very important question. It is mostly considered as safe for honeybees. However, this is controversial because in the older literatures it was used to be written like it is safe for honeybees. Lekin newer researchers have found that this is not at all safe for honeybees and it also affects honeybees in the same way it affects the other insects as well. Okay. So in the insecticide market, you know, lots of lobby and other things go on. So sometimes the lobbies push on some research studies which might not be accurate, but question can come from this because this is a well established fact in older literatures. In the books you can find it is harmless to honeybees or safe to honeybees. So question might come, which insecticide was safe to honeybees? That is endosulfan. But itna bhi safe hai, itna safe hone ke baad bhi, now it is banned in mostly all over the world and also in India. Okay. So endosulfan was banned in 2011 by Supreme Court of India due to Kasargod incident. This is a very, very important question. Why was endosulfan banned in India? Because of this Kasargod incident. ठीक है. Then the trade names are Devisulfan, Endosil, Endoside. Trade name though you have to remember, nothing to do. So what is this Kasargod incident? Kasargod is, all of you know, it's a district in Kerala. So Kasargod had huge area of cashew plantations. Okay, Anacardium occidentally, you know, cashew ka plantation hota tha. So in cashew plantations, one of the most notorious pest is the tea bug. It is the tea bug. Okay. For controlling of that, they sprayed from aircraft, from other spraying mechanisms. For the huge area, they sprayed endosulfan. Okay. So after that spraying, the controlling of that bug was very effective. But after few years, reports of huge amounts of huge amount of problems from the humans, like they were having deformities, they were getting handicapped, the new kids were getting handicapped, they were having chronic illness, chronic vomiting and other problems. From that area, the news started emerging. So a case was done in the Kerala High Court. Kerala High Court temporarily banned endosulfan in that Kasargod area. Then after in 2011, finally in the Supreme Court of India, they took heavily the data support from that Kasargod area only, and they banned endosulfan for use all over in India. Okay. So this Kasargod incident, you can remember, it was in Kerala and it was in cashew plantation where blanket application of endosulfan was done for controlling that bug, but it resulted in lot of problems and deformities to humans. Okay. Now coming to organophosphate. Organophosphate is the second most important after organochlorines. This is also very, very important. The biological activity of organophosphate was first discovered by W. Lang and Kruger in 1932. Very important question. Okay. Their use as insecticide emerged from Gerhard Schroeder's work in Germany in 1937. The first organic phosphate compound was TEPP. Very, very important question. Tetraethyl pyrophosphate. Then the classification: phosphoric acid derivative, thiophosphoric acid, dithiophosphoриc acid, pyrophosphoric acid and phosphorus acid derivatives. Okay. In this, wherever, I think all of you know, wherever there is thio, what is the meaning of this thio? Thio means what? It contains what also? Alongside phosphorus, it contains what? Which element? Thio का मतलब क्या है? Can anyone tell me? Thio का मतलब होता है sulfur. Okay. Wherever there is thio, please attach it with sulfur. जैसे thiobacillus है ना? Yes, very good, Pawan. So here you can see these are the derivatives. यहाँ से क्या question आ सकता है? यहाँ से question नहीं आ सकता है. They will give you which of this is not a classification of organophosphate, and they will give you all four, and they will add something from their own. Okay, and in that way they will ask which of this is not a organophosphate derivative, which one of the following are organophosphate derivative. So you have to remember this, and also better if you can remember the examples. Okay. Now again coming to questions. OP insecticides have two most important properties: higher potency and low residual life. Okay. Low residual life is very much wanted by us. It is a very desirable character because residual is the major problem of pesticide. Even after application, after 10-15 years also, you can sometimes find some residue. Okay. So organophosphates are prepared by Michaelis Arbruzov reaction and Parkov reaction. Very important. Okay. Please remember the name of the reactions. Just like Diel-Sandler reaction. Diel-Sandler reaction was used for, just we read in the last slide. For which type of compounds Diel-Sandler reaction is used? Anyhow, I think all of you remember only. Dieldrin, yes, the class of compound is cyclodiene compounds. Okay, cyclodiene compounds. Fine. Similarly, organophosphates. Yes, dieldrin is the name of the chemical. Okay. I was asking the classification. See, Diel-Sandler reaction is used for preparation of cyclodiene compound. Cyclodiene, if you see the structure, there are two as a rings hai, and there are double bonds also. This double bond is in and cyclo is this ring. Okay, that is why cyclodiene compounds. Fine. So here also for organophosphate you have to remember Parkov reaction and Michaelis Arbruzov reaction. So commonly used organophosphate to control adult mosquito. This is also a very important question. Probably this is some PYQ, I don't remember. This is probably a PYQ. Commonly used organophosphate to control adult mosquito, malathion and naled. Okay. So mode of action, they inhibit the acetylcholinesterase enzyme. Very important. Extremely important question. How organophosphates work? Organophosphates work by inhibiting the acetylcholinesterase enzyme, okay, leading to the blockage of synaptic transmission of nerve impulse and finally death, which I was explaining few slides back. The ऐसे neurons होता है, this connection between two neurons is called synapse. In this synapse, there should be this acetylcholine, that is a nerve transmitter. So this enzyme they block, that results in blocking of the, that results in production of the acetylcholine, and due to this reduction in the acetylcholine, the transmission will not happen, the nerve impulse will not travel from one neuron to other neuron, that will finally result in death. I don't remember it, sir. याद नहीं रहता तो the only thing is you have to revise and revise. Take this PPT, take this screenshot, read it twice or thrice. I think you will remember it, no problem. Okay. So this is also another important point. Organophosphates should not be mixed with alkaline materials. What is the antidote? Can anyone tell what was the antidote of organochlorine? Antidote of organochlorine कोई बता सकता है? Just we read in the last slide. Sir, इतना सब कैसे याद रखे? This is not much. Entomology guys and pathology guys, they have to read much more than this. This is the very basic part that you have to remember. Can anyone tell what is the antidote of organochlorine? In case of organophosphate, here you can see it is 2PAM, that is, and atropine sulfate. These are the two compounds. Barbiturate kind of thing. Yes, it was barbiturate. Barbiturate. Where was it? हाँ, here, यहीं पे था ना? Barbiturates. Okay. Phenobarbital and pentabarbital. थोड़ा सा समस्या होगा लेकिन याद रह जाएगा, don't worry. Barbiturates, and in case of organophosphates, it is 2PAM and atropine sulfate. इसको याद रखना easy है. 2PAM and atropine sulfate. These are the phosphate esters with the general structure. You can see O double bond P and O are whole thrice. Fine. So organophosphate insecticides, you can see these are generally systemic, and here I have listed the names and the trade names. Trade name से भी question आता है. That is a very sad thing. How many trade names can you remember? That you, very sad, but you have to remember. They ask questions in NTA, in JRF, in SRF both. So we have tried to include only the most important trade names. So here also you can see chlorpyrifos is an effective termite killer. This is also a question, and here also you can see I have mentioned that. Okay, moving on. So organochlorine हो गया, organochlorine हो गया, organophosphate हो गया. Most traumatic part of JRF soil, अभी तो तुमने SRF में आया भी नहीं यार. JRF soil, it will only contain say 7-8 questions. In SRF soil there is a whole section dedicated to agronomy, agrochemicals and water science. That agrochemicals is, उसका syllabus is almost 3 to 4 times of this, you know. ये तो पढ़ना ही होता है, इसके साथ also you have to read all the instruments that are used in pesticide analysis and all the other structures, and it is traumatizing like anything. It is the worst part of SRF. I don't understand also what is the reason behind this. Some guy is going for PhD in soil and he has to read chemicals. I don't know what is the logic behind this, but khair, koi na, what can we do? We are the slaves of the system. Anyhow, carbamates insecticide, here also we will just see the questions. Carbamates first synthesized from Physostigmine venetum, that is the Calabar beans. Very important, but very number one question. Okay. Carbamates are derivatives of carbamic acid with general formula this. The formula is fine if you don't have to remember, but derivatives of carbamic acid, very important. First carbamate insecticide is isolan, very, very, very important. ठीक है? Then classification, same as of organophosphates. Classification, heterocyclic, naphthyl, phenyl and oxime. एक example ही दिया गया है, not that much hard. Okay. Widely used carbamate insecticide against borers is carbofuran. I think all of you know this name. You have studied entomology. Widely used carbamate against borer is carbofuran. Carbamate insecticide used against cockroach, flies, mosquitoes, propoxar, that is Baygon. This is the trade name, you know. This is also a question like which is very effective against cockroach, especially cockroach, तो उसका आंसर होगा बेगन. Okay, wide spectrum means broad spectrum, kills a lot of organisms. Wide spectrum carbamate insecticide used against cotton pest, carbaryl. Okay, insecticide of carbamate group which is highly toxic to mammals, aldicarb. Carbamate insecticide which is used to control nematodes, carbofuran. Toxicity of carbamates are controlled by atropine sulfate. Here we are getting one thing that is common between organophosphate and carbamate, that is the antidote. The antidote of both organophosphate and carbamate is atropine sulfate. Okay, mode of action, carbamates are just like organophosphates, interfere with the cholinergic transmission by inhibiting acetylcholine esterase. This is the enzyme acetylcholine esterase which results in the production of acetylcholine, that is a nerve transmitter which is present in the synapse. Okay, here this statement is the most important statement of this slide, that tells you the definition between organophosphate and the carbamate. Organophosphate causes irreversible inhibition of ACHE, whereas carbamates causes reversible inhibition of ACHE. Okay, fine. And then finally here also again chemical name and trade name I have given for you. If you want you can read, but no one can help you in this. I also cannot do anything. What can I do to make you remember the trade names? It's very sad. So then we have come to pyrethroids. This is also very important. Synthetic pyrethroids. See, pyrethrins are the natural insecticidal compound derived from chrysanthemum. Yes, we all know this. Pyrethroid क्या होता है? Pyrethroid are the synthetic analogues of pyrethrins with higher insecticidal potency and greater toxicity. So pyrethroids are synthetic analog of pyrethrin. So you have to remember this. Pyrethrin is the natural, whereas pyrethroid is the synthetic analog of this pyrethrin. Okay, the pyrethrins are derived from Chrysanthemum cineropholium. This you all know. Asteraceae family का है. This is also very important. Chrysanthemum belongs to Asteraceae family. Main source is the flower heads. So the flower that you see, that flower head is the main source. Okay. Now this is a very important question, extremely important. First commercial synthetic pyrethroid is alethrin. First commercial synthetic pyrethroid is alethrin. First photostable synthetic pyrethroid is fenpropathrine. Okay. Pyrethroids are generally esters. However, non-ester synthetic pyrethroids are this and this. See, why this has been mentioned here? First photostable synthetic pyrethroid is fenpropathrine because pyrethroids are highly photo unstable. मतलब उन लोगों का photo degradation हो जाता है. When they are in light, they get degraded. Photo unstable. In light, in presence of light, they get degraded. Synthetic formulations aim to increase this photostability. So the only major function of this synthetic formulation is to increase the photostability, right? Synthetic pyrethroids are very less toxic to mammals. This is a very good indication for us, and it has a knockdown effect on insects. This you have to remember from this, how the pyrethrins and the pyrethroids work. They have a knockdown effect on the insects. Okay. Alethrin is used in mosquito coils. Antidotes are diazepam and phenobarbital. This compound looks familiar. Yes, organochlorine में use होता था. Mode of action, pyrethroids act as sodium channel modulator in neurons, preventing their closure, leading to continuous nerve transmission, tremors and death. So organophosphates and carbamates, they block the nerve transmission. Here pyrethroids, they prevent the closure of the nerve transmission. So there will be excess of nerve transmission that will result in tremors and death. That is, the insect will tremor in fear. You have seen now in horror movies. So it will tremor and it will finally die. Here also the same list has been given, chemical name and trade name. You can take a screenshot, you can read this PPT. एक एक करके याद रखो. At least ऐसे याद रहना चाहिए कि if you see in the exam hall, it should click, right? Like I am also telling, it is impossible to remember all of this, but ऐसे याद रखो कि at least देखने के बाद क्लिक करे थोड़ा सा कि अरे ये तो पायरेथ्रिन में पढ़ा था, है ना? Then what is pro-pesticide? This is a very important thing. Pro-pesticides क्या है? Pro-pesticides are inactive compounds that are metabolized within the insect's body to produce active insecticidal compounds. So हाँ, the way we are trimming from agrochemicals, same hai, but what to do? We have made this very comprehensive list of everything that we have found. Yes, so let's see. So pro-pesticide is also, you can say it is analogous to virus. It is almost like virus. Yes, we know the same, right? Virus are non-living entities when they are in the outside. Outside the organism, virus ka koi aukat nahi hai. It can do anything, can't do anything. But once it enters the host body, it becomes virulent. Then it becomes a pathogen. So similarly, pro-pesticide is also like that. I'm not telling pro-pesticide is a virus. It is also like that, where these are inactive compounds outside. कोई मतलब नहीं है, they do nothing. But once they are inside the insect's body, they get metabolized to produce active insecticidal compounds. इसका सबसे बड़ा example है carbosulfan, which is a pro-pesticide. It becomes carbofuran inside the insect's body, which is a insecticide, right? Then chalocythrin and chalometrin, cypermethrin and deltamethrin. This slide is very, very important, and you can expect a question from this, okay? Now coming to neonicotinoids, classification of neonicotinoids, here you can see. Then here also generations are there. Then finally, it is a major new class of insecticide developed in the late 1980s. This is relatively new, okay. Then it is also known as nitroguanidins, neonicotinoids or neonicotinoids. They are similar to natural nicotine, hence the name was given. It is very similar to natural nicotine, that is why the name was given neonicotinoids. So here also you have to clear the confusion. Neonicotinoids are not natural. It is synthetic compound only. It is generated in the factory only like a chemical. But iska jo structure hota hai, that is very similar to natural nicotine. Hence the name was given neonicotinoid. And if you remember in the that slide where we were reading the generations, the generation slide jo tha, usme you can see neonicotinoid comes in the 4th generation, because I told you it is a relatively new type of insecticide, so it comes in the 4th generation, okay, developed in the late 1980s. Fine. So mode of action, again, it is N-acetylcholine receptor competitive modulators or agonists. It desensitizes the N-AChR channel, causing a greater influx of positive ions than normal, bind to the active site where ACH binds. The target site is nicotinic acetylcholine receptor. So it is also a nerve poison. It works by imposing some problems on the nervous system of the insects, right? It is a competitive modulator or agonist. I think you all know what is agonist, right? Agonist means competitors. We have read no interaction, agonistic interaction and protagonistic interaction. Okay, so this we have made it differently because this has been specifically mentioned in your syllabus. I don't know how many of you have checked the syllabus of JRF Physical Science. JRF Physical Science में अलग से दिया हुआ है naturally occurring natural pesticides. All right, this has been given अलग से. Okay. So naturally occurring insecticide में सबसे पहले आता है azadirachtin. All of you know azadirachtin. Source of azadirachtin is Azadirachta indica. Yes, of course, family Meliaceae. It is nothing but neem. So highest concentration is found in neem seed kernel. This is a very important question. Which is the highest concentration portion of azadirachtin? The answer will be neem seed. Okay, neem seed kernel. The synthesis of azadirachtin was performed by Lay. This is also very important. Neem seed extract and oil contains a number of secondary metabolites such as azadirachtin, salanine, nimbin, epinimbin, nimbidin that gives insecticidal, insect repellent, ovicidal, antifidant and growth regulator characters. One thing I have deliberately not written here that I will ask the soil science students, it is specially for you, this salanine and nimbin, okay, these two have the property of what? That is relevant to soil science and that is used in fertilizer science, okay. Using this neem oil, we coat the fertilizer because of some property of this salanine and nimbin. What is that property? Can anyone write? Coating करते हैं क्यों करते हैं? What is the property of neem that we use there? We do the coating, definitely we do the coating, but why do we do the coating? What is the especially this salanine and nimbin, they have a specific property which we exploit for coating. It is not reduced volatilization. Reduced volatilization, so you coat with any oil that will reduce volatilization. If you coat it with linseed oil, with mustard oil, with whatever oil is with you, it will reduce the volatilization because it will take time to get soluble. Slow releasing the fine. What is the mechanism? Neem is what? Insecticidal property is also fine. Why would we apply that to fertilizer? Fertilizer के साथ insecticide का क्या है? We apply it to urea because it has a property of neem, karanj. These are what? Okay, I will write the reaction for you. इतना भी chemicals में मत घुस जाओ यार, ताकि soil science भूल जाओ. It is a naturally occurring what does it do? Critical relative humidity. अरे यार. Nitrification inhibition, nitrification inhibitor. Neem is also a very good nitrification inhibitor, neem and karanj. So in that neem, the secondary metabolite, this salanine and nimbin, majorly, they have the nitrification inhibition property. So whatever you have written is correct. We used to quote it. Why? From 2015, right? From 2015, neem coated urea is mandatory by the Indian government. Why? उसका बहुत सारे रीजंस है. उसमें से एक रीजन है नाइट्रिफिकेशन इनहिबिटर. उसमें से एक रीजन है सो दैट द सब्सिडाइज्ड यूरिया कैनॉट बी सोल्ड टू द डाई इंडस्ट्री, राइट? सो याद रखना है भाई, नाइट्रिफिकेशन इनहिबिटर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पोर्शन ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर्स. प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट. Now coming to this statement is very, very important because from this already question has come. Question has come in JRF, question has come in SRF also. Which type of compound? Majorly they ask about nicotine, but azadiractin के बारे में भी आ सकता है, okay? So azadiractin is a limonoid, very important, and it is a tetranortriterpenoid. This is a PYQ of SRF. I am telling you again and again, this is a PYQ of SRF. tetranortriterpenoid, okay? बहुत सारा terpenoid का classes है, mono, di, tri, tetra. This is tetranortri. इसका मतलब है in the fourth position tetranor, मतलब fourth position में वो नहीं है. Fourth position has one less. Tetranortriterpenoid. This is very important, huh? Limonoid and tetranortriterpenoid, both of this you have to remember. It has 26 carbon and 0 nitrogen atoms in its structure. Thick. Salanine and nimbin are feeding inhibitors and repellents and also nitrification inhibitors. Okay. It degrades in 3 to 4 days, residual activity 7 to 10 days. How it works? Blocks ecdison action, inhibits molting. You all know insects में molting होता है. Molting hormone is called ecdison. So it blocks the ecdison action and prevents the insect from molting, causes antefidant effect and prevents reproduction in over 200 insect species. This prevention of reproduction is also called anti-fecundity, right? Fecundity we know it is reproduction, so it is also anti-fecundity effect. So anti-fecundity देख के confuse मत हो जाना in exam hall, okay? Commercial products are NeemGuard and this, fine. Then we have come to nicotine. From nicotine there is a PYQ, we will see at the last. This is the PYQ. Nicotine is dash. They have asked that time. Nicotine belongs to which class of compounds? And they have given lots of options: alkaloid, limonoid, then something else, metabolite, this and that. So remember, it is an alkaloid found in the leaves of Nicotiana tabacum. Very important. It is found in the leaves. But you will see later. Here you can see Nicotiana tabacum is this percent and Nicotiana rustica. Two tobacco species are there majorly. It is this much percent. Nicotine was isolated by Posselt and Reinman. Nicotine synthesized via Craig biosynthesis pathway. Another reaction we are getting here. Dialsalder ke baad we got the reaction for organophosphate, right? And here nicotine is also synthesized via Craig biosynthesis pathway. Nicotine is synthesized in the roots and transported in the xylem to the leaves. This is the most important statement of this slide. Nicotine is not secreted or generated in the leaves. It is synthesized or secreted in the roots and then it is transported to the leaves through xylem. So हमें मिलता है leaf में, but actual production होता है in the roots, right? Commercial product is nicotine sulfate. It acts as nicotinic acetylcholine agonist. We already saw it during neonicotinoids. It occurs in nicotine glutinosa, nornicotine. It is more stable and toxic than nicotine. This is also very important. What is nornicotine? Nornicotine is found in nicotine glutinosa and it is more stable and toxic than nicotine. Then antidote of this is activated charcoal. If you put activated charcoal, you will get antidote properties. Okay. Now, naturally occurring insecticides, another very important is rotenone. So, what is a rotenone? It is here also you can see question after question. All of these are questions. Okay. So, rotenone, it is derived from the roots of Derris elliptica and Loncocarpus sp, Teprosia sp, and stems and seeds of jicama vine. All of these are very important. Derris elliptica is very important. Loncocarpus is very important. Tephrosia is very important. And stem or seeds of jicama vine is also important. Rotenone occurs in the Derris roots and Loncocarpus. This much percent. Here you can see it belongs to the isoflavone. It is isoflavonoid. Okay, this is also very important. This is question number 1. This is question number 2. It has a 5-ring structure. It is oxidized to non-insecticidal compound in the presence of light and air. It becomes non-insecticidal in the presence of light and air. So, it is also having photodegradation, it is having very less photostability and it has low persistence. Rotenone acts as a contact stomach poison. This is very important. Question number 3. It inhibits the mitochondrial respiration by specifically inhibiting complex 1. It is the mode of action. Okay. It disrupts respiratory enzyme activity between NADP plus and coenzyme. It blocks oxidation phosphorylation. It is mildly toxic to humans. It is mildly toxic to humans because in the human liver there is a specific enzyme that degrades this rotenone and detoxify it, whereas it is extremely toxic to insects and aquatic life. It can also be classified as a pesticide. All right. Okay. Fine. Now again we have come to natural pyrethroids. We have already read pyrethroids 1. This is natural pyrethroids. Source of pyrethrin we have already read. It is present in the flower heads, already read. Content is maximum when flowers are in full bloom. Fine. Pyrethrin is the toxic constituent of pyrethrum flowers. It targets central nervous system. We all know it is the knockdown effect, right? The synergist is piperonyl butoxide, okay, PBO, fine. So, this also you can remember, this table has been put for you. What are the alcohols and what are the acids? Now, moving to spinosad or the spinosins. Spinosins are extracted from the fermentation broth produced by Saccharopolyspora spinosa. Very important. Question number 1. The primary components are spinosine A and spinosine D. Question number 2. Spinosine A and spinosine D. Spinosine A and spinosine D. Question number 2. Produced from Saccharopolyspora spinosa. It is a mode of action. It kills insects by activating nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, same as nicotine in the insect's nervous system. Activity, it is contact and stomach poison. Target pays highly effective against Lepidoptera. I am very sad to say and very sorry to say this is also a PYQ. They have asked spinosads are highly effective against which type of pest? So, uska answer hoga Lepidoptera. Alright. Trade names are this. Please remember Tracer. Tracer is very known trade name. Then coming to avermectins. Avermectin is also very important because emamectin benzoate, I think all of you have seen it getting used nowadays in the fields. In our fields also we have seen. Then avermectin, it is of microbial origin. So, the source, it is derived from the soil microorganism Streptomyces avermitilis. Okay, iska bhi ek bahut it has a very interesting story. It was developed by one Japanese scientist who was walking around with a plastic bag and he used to collect soil from everywhere in the hope of finding something new, and one day suddenly he got Streptomyces avermitilis, which has insecticidal property, and for this he got a Nobel Prize, you know. So this emamectin benzoate is very important, and abamectin is also very important. It is a microbial origin. Okay. Mode of action, it activates the GABA-gated chloride channel. I don't think mode of action of all is that much required, but you can study. Here also, emamectin benzoate, it is a non-systemic insecticide with translaminar penetration, effective primarily against Lepidoptera. This is also a PYQ of SRF. Emamectin benzoate is effective primarily against which family? Okay. So this is also a PYQ of SRF, and the answer will be Lepidoptera. The good thing of emamectin benzoate is, why do we use it nowadays so much? It has low toxicity to non-target organisms, okay, and also the environment. It is considered as semi-synthetic, so it has some better properties for use. The trade name is Proclaim. Then abamectin is broad spectrum. It is effective against mites. This is important, and also Lepidoptera. इसका trade name है this. Others, milbemycin is developed from Streptomyces hygroscopicus, polynectin from Streptomyces aureus, and streptomycin from Streptomyces griseus. From this, you can get some match the following maybe. And I remember, I think in my JRF in 2023, they have asked one question from all this. What was the question? I don't remember exactly. It was, I think, milbemycin ka source kya hai, something like that, and the answer would be hygroscopicus. All right. Then I think all of you know Bacillus thuringiensis. This is we are coming to the easy domain finally. Bacillus thuringiensis, I know all of you know, BT cotton, BT brinjal and everything. So what is BT? BT is gram positive, spore forming, important, known for its ability to produce crystal proteins or the cryproteins. Again very important, right? This cryproteins ka hi sara khel hai. This cryprotein is what it does all the activity. This cryprotein is also known as BT toxin, is produced in an inactive crystalline form. When consumed by insects, the protein is converted to its active toxic form delta endotoxin, which in turn destroys the gut of the insect. Commercial formulations are this. Why is BT not poisonous to human? Because these cryproteins, which are inactive, which is converted to its active toxic form in insect gut only, is because of the pH, right? Insect gut, we all know, it is alkaline pH. That is why the pH is more than 7. So it gets activated only in alkaline pH. Whereas human gut, it has HCl, you know, hydrochloric acid, that makes the pH very low. Even it might go as low as 3.54. So in that pH, this cryprotein is inactive. So BT is safe for humans. That is why in many countries, in India, it is not, still not, it is, what they say, it is not allowed to grow BT brinjal and all. But in Bangladesh and in USA, the soybean plants in Bangladesh, BT brinjal, these things are going on for decades, and still now there are no news of toxicity for humans. So majorly it gets inactivated by the acidic pH of human gut. That is also a question. Why is BT safe for humans? Because we have acidic pH, whereas insects have alkaline pH. All right. Then NPV. NPV, I think all of you have read in your entomology course. NPV stands for nuclear polyhedrosis virus, very important. It comes under baculovirus, again very important. It is a host specific for Spodoptera lutura, right? Spodoptera lutura ka host specific hai, and also Helicoverpa armigera. All of you know Helicoverpa armigera is one of the most notorious polyphagous pest. Har crop mein aa jata hai. It comes in every crop, and this Spodoptera lutura also. This is, I think, fall armyworm. I don't remember exactly. It is a stomach poison. Yahan pe, the most important question comes from this line. NPV alters its host behavior such that the infected larvae hang at the top of trees before their death. Okay, NPV affects the behavior of the infected larva in such a way that it goes on eating and goes to the top of the tree, and there it dies. So this phenomenon is also called tree top disease. So from far, if you see, you will see many larvae are hanging from the top of the tree, dead larvae are hanging from the top of the tree. That is why it is a tree top disease. So NPV ke saath tree top disease is very, very important. Many questions come from this. Okay. Universal antidote. See, universal antidote, when you don't have the specific antidote available, universal antidote is activated charcoal plus magnesium oxide plus tannic acid at the ratio 2:1:1. This is also very, very, very important, right? Moving on. These are the chemosterilants, insect repellents, insecticide synergists, and insect attractants. I have only listed the examples here, nothing to understand here. Whatever you need to understand, you can read from the English only. Chemosterilant, then insect repellent, insect ko dur karta hai, insecticide synergist. That is, these are chemicals that make insecticide ingredients more effective at killing pests. Synergist का मतलब यही है, synergist is like a collaboration, so the collaboration helps in more power of the insecticide in killing pests. Most commonly used synergist is piperonyl butoxide, which we have already read in the pyrethrins. All right, you have to remember, you have to correlate all these things. And insect attractant is also same, you know, these yellow traps and all. Insect attractant is, it will attract the insect and then it will kill. Fine. In this, what is the question I have seen in the PYQ? This is a PYQ, okay? Please note down the PYQ if you have any pen, pencil, whatever. Most effective repellent against mosquitoes. This is a previous year question. Most effective repellent against mosquito is DEET, okay? This is a very important question. Please make a note of it, or you can take screenshot of this. Now, very important points. We have come to the end of the insecticides. After this, we will have fungicides and herbicides, and we will end it. So, some important points. CIB and RC, Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee, works under Directorate of Plant Protection, Quarantine and Storage, located in Faridabad. Very, very, very important, right? It is very important. Please remember. Sir, how will I? सर इतना सब कैसे याद रखेंगे, एग्जाम बहुत क्लोज है, इसको याद रखना. सी, I don't know your name, some agriculture university it's written. Remembering all this is not hard, okay? While we were giving JRF also, we also had the same problem, right? We also had the same problem, but this requires 1 or 2 readings actually. Actually 1 or 2 very concentrated, very attentive reading. You can easily remember these things. These are very close, but you don't have to remember everything, right? You just have to remember the name of the reaction, the name of the antidote, and then the name of the antagonist or the synergist that is there, right? So इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा remember करने का चीज़ वैसे तो नहीं है. And these all are exams are very close, तो you have to revise. अभी इसको remember करने के लिए revise के अलावा और क्या हो सकता है? If you go on reading the structures of the chemicals and all, फिर तो और problem हो जाएगा, because chemical structures in organic chemistry, those are also you have to remember only. You cannot see those with your eyes, right? It is not that easy as soil science. So you have to make your strategy in such a way. Only reading is the only solution to your problem. Twice, thrice, 2 बार 3 बार पढ़ लो, not that hard. We also have done it. We have done it multiple times in JRF, in SRF, okay? So you can also do it. If we can do it, you can also do it, no problem. So CIB and RC regulate and register the, here very important questions are coming, so please be attentive. This part is very easy to remember, please remember. CIB and RC works under DPP QS located in Faridabad. This is a very important question, number 1. Then CIB and RC regulate and register. Regulate and register, question number 2. The pesticide sold in the market. It also specifies the shelf life, okay? Now comes the most important thing. Maximum residue limit of pesticides is fixed by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, that is the FSSAI. MRL is the maximum concentration of pesticide residue that is permitted legally on food commodity. It is expressed in ppm. This is also a previous year question where they have asked who fixes the MRL, and probably 90% of the students, they have marked CIB and RC because it deals with the insecticides and pesticides only. But you have to remember, when it comes to maximum residue limit or MRL, in that case it is fixed by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, right? Because it is related to food, what we are having. So FSSAI is the organization that fixes the MRL. and not CIBRC. So please don't get confused. This is a very important question, extremely important question. Okay, it is expressed in ppm. Okay, fine. FSSAI was established in 2006 by the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. This is also very, very important. Fine. Then coming to Quechers. Quechers is associated with pesticide residue analysis. Okay, very important. Quechers se bhi question aa chuka hai. PYQ is there from SRF. Okay. Quechers stands for quick, easy, cheap, effective, rugged and safe. Here you can see quick, effective, cheap, quick, easy, cheap, effective, rugged and safe. Okay. Now what is Quechers? ये भी question आता है. This is also from PYQ. It is a streamlined sample preparation and extraction methodology. Okay. It is a methodology of sample preparation and extraction. Before the advent of Quechers, it used to take a lot of time for preparation of sample for pesticide residue analysis. It is associated with residue analysis and it is a technique of sample preparation and extraction. Okay. So steps involved, this I have added: extraction and partitioning, then cleanup, then analysis. First you have to extract and partition the pesticide from the whatever soil you are taking, uska residue. Then you have to do cleanup, you have to clean all the other matrix that is present, and then you have to analyze only the pesticide residue that is present there. The Bhopal gas tragedy, this I was covering in a previous video also, I remember, of 1984. It is due to methyl isocyanate which was used to produce the carbaryl. It is a carbamate group insecticide. Alright, it is a carbamate group insecticide, and this methyl isocyanate gas, it was used to produce carbaryl which got leaked, and it happened in one of the worst tragedies of India that happened in 1984. That is the Bhopal gas tragedy. So we are entering fungicides. Insecticide सबसे बड़ा part है. Fungicide is the and herbicide are the less important part. So fungicide, we are starting with some easy definitions. A chemical. What is fungicide? It is a chemical agent that directly kills or destroys fungus and their spores. Example are this. Okay. Then fungistatic क्या है? It is a chemical compound that temporarily inhibits or halts fungal vegetative growth without causing immediate death. ठीक है? This can come in match the following. So please be aware with the definitions. Then what is antisporulant? It is a targeted substance that specifically suppresses or prevents the formation and release of new fungal spore. नाम देख के ही पता चल रहा है sporulant. So formation and release of new fungal spore. Then fumigant क्या है? Fumigant I think all of you have read already. We also read already before. It is a highly volatile pesticide that turns into a lethal gas to penetrate soil, grain or enclosed space and eradicate pest or pathogen. Example, methyl bromide, aluminum phosphide and this. So in this only this term is a bit new. What is a fungistatic? So fungistatic temporarily inhibits or halts fungal vegetative growth without causing immediate death. Immediate death agar hua, so that is a fungicide. Immediate death agar nahi hua, so that is a fungistatic. So here, this slide is also filled with questions. You can see only questions are here. So what is a Bordeaux mixture? It is a mixture of CuSO4, copper sulfate plus lime plus H2O in the ratio of this. This ratio you can find different in different books, okay? But I have taken this from authentic source only. So it was discovered by PMA Millardet. Do you know the discovery story of Bordeaux mixture? Actually, it was an accidental discovery, you know, it was an accidental discovery. This, it happened in Bordeaux. Bordeaux is a city in France. From there, the name came Bordeaux mixture. So in Bordeaux, there were vines, okay, grape vines. So the grape vines used to be affected by downy mildew. Downy mildew was very high at that time, and downy mildew ke wajah se there were loss of yield and everything. There was another problem with the vine farmers. क्या होता था? Whose vine were near the roadside. Whichever vine was near the roadside, whoever was passing by that vine, they used to pluck the grapes and eat. This we also do, right? एक आम का पेड़ है, there is a mango tree, there are mangoes. We take the mango and eat if it is in our reach. So similar thing used to happen, but this resulted in a loss of the farmers. So what the farmers did, they made a coating of copper sulfate. You know copper sulfate comes in a blue color, blue, right? they made a coating of copper sulfate in the grapes, so that the grapes look poisonous and it will not be that much appetizing. Say if you are seeing a mango and that mango is blue in color, will you eat that? Definitely you will not eat that. So similarly, they coated it with copper sulfate and it used to look blue. So then the people who were passing by, they would not eat those grapes. So this was a strategy by the farmers for keeping the grapes safe from the thieves. But one day, this PMA Millardet was traveling by that vineyard only. He was a scientist. He saw which grapes was coated by this CuSO4. They have no downy mildew infestation, whereas the grapes which were not coated with it had downy mildew infestation. From that, he took the idea that this copper sulfate might be acting as a fungicide that is killing the fungus responsible for downy mildew. Okay, so that is the story behind discovery, this accidental discovery. And this Bordeaux mixture 1%, it contains CuSO4 plus lime plus H2O. This is also a PYQ. Be very, very thorough with this. They give 3-4 options and they will try to confuse you with calcium sulfate plus copper carbonate, something they will give. Please remember, it is copper sulfate, okay? It is copper sulfate. Whatever is there, copper sulfate is there. And then this lime can be anything. This lime can be CaCO3, this lime can be CaO, this lime can be CaOH2. This can change. Lime is fine. But copper sulfate is the main ingredient and copper sulfate is permanent. Usko hum change nahi kar sakte. ठीक है? And then H2O to rahega. So this is Bordeaux mixture. Then what is Bordeaux paste? That is CuSO4 plus lime plus H2O. ठीक है? Then this is the Burgundy mixture. It consists of CuSO4 plus sodium carbonate. You can see plus H2O. It is also called soda Bordeaux. It was discovered by Mason. This was discovered by PMA Millardet. This was discovered by Mason. Then chestnut compound. It is copper sulfate plus ammonium carbonate. And Choubattia paste. It is copper sulfate plus red lead plus linseed oil. So these are the some of the paste which are used as wound dressers and control of various fungi. So this slide is very, very important. You have to remember all the names of this paste and what is the composition of this paste. Okay, Bordeaux mixture is the most important of all. You have to remember PMA Millardet. You have to remember what it controls, that is downy mildew, and what is the composition of that. And here also soda Bordeaux kya hai, that is Burgundy mixture, and it was discovered by Mason. This is also very important. Fine, moving on. Chemical classification of fungicides, similar that we read in insecticides also, it is also the same. So here the fungicide group classified as sulfur fungicide is coming in number 1. It is a contact and protective fungicide. Key examples include elemental sulfur and lime sulfur, generally used to control powdery mildew of fruit, vegetable, flower and tobacco. Here we get another very important difference. Powdery mildew ke liye sulfur chahiye, right? And for downy mildew ke liye we need copper fungicide. Copper sulfate we are using, so copper and sulfur both, but sulfur fungicides which does not contain copper, only sulfur, these are specifically effective against powdery mildews. Okay, fine. Then coming to copper fungicide, it contains inorganic copper containing fungicide. So examples are CuSO4, Bordeaux mixture, Burgundy mixture, Choubattia paste, copper oxychloride, whatever we saw on the last slide. Bordeaux mixture is used as a wound dresser. We have already discussed in detail what is Bordeaux mixture. Then copper oxychloride is also called Blitox. This is also important. Copper oxychloride is also called Blitox. It is a mixture of CuOH2 and CuCl2, copper chloride and copper hydroxide. It is used for lead blight of potato, Phytophthora infestans and leaf blight. Very, very important. Only the important portions I have taken. I think if any one of you have read the booster, that is by the Soil in Soul, we have taken it from this book only. That book is extremely good. That is made by our senior in IRI only. Our senior has made it, and it is such a beautiful compilation of everything. So I would definitely suggest, if you have that book, you can read it there. This we have taken from there only. You can read this PPT also. This we have made from, like this portion we have made from there. Other to bahut sara extra cheez bhi hai. So booster agar padhe ho, these are very easy for you, right? So Bordeaux mixture is used as a wound dresser, and here ho gaya. Then coming to 3, thiocarbamates. Thiocarbamate, again I am telling you the same thing. थायो, wherever there is थायो, remember उसके साथ सल्फर जुड़ा हुआ है, सल्फर is there, fine. इसका key examples you can see Zainab, Manab, Mancozeb, Vapam, Thiram, Ziram. These are very important, as I think all of you have read the pathology courses where they would ask seed treatment. So here you can see these are very important, used for seed treatment, right? So Manab and Mancozeb are used for blights, then anthracnose and rust of pulses. This is a question of PYQ, that is why I have mentioned it alag se. This is a PYQ, that is why we have mentioned it differently. Dithen M45 is used against early blight of potato. Okay. Then coming to Nabam, Nabam is foliar application against leaf spot. Vapam is soil fungicide with fumigant action. You can see it is very easy to remember. Vapam is related to vapor, so it is fumigant action for damping off and cotton wilt, and Thiram is used for seed treatment. Then coming to benzimidazoles, it exhibits very broad spectrum activity against a variety of fungus. These are the examples. इसमें से bavicitin, I think all of you have used it in your BSc. Bavicitin we have used. Carbendazim is effective against banana wilt and Sigatoka leaf spot of banana. This is also very, very important. All right. Moving on, heterocyclic nitrogen compounds. It is mostly used as foliage, fruit and seed protectants. Examples are Captan, Captafol. Widely applied as protective treatment for foliage, fruit and seed. Here also you can see it is used in seed treatment. Captan comes under the group Thalamide, is widely used as seed dresser. If you have written those answers, package of practices, there you would have written seed dresser, that is Captan. It comes under the heterocyclic nitrogen compounds classification, whereas all these Manab, Mancozeb, it comes under thiocarbamates. ठीक है? Then triazole. This group works through sterol biosynthesis inhibition. Hexaconazole, propiconazole, tubuconazole, tricyclazole. Hexaconazole is used in combination for sheath blight. Tricyclazole, it is used against paddy blast fungus, that is Pyracularia oryzae. ठीक है? यहाँ पे can anyone tell me what is the meaning of triazole? As azole क्या है? What is that? Can anyone tell what is the meaning of triazole? Here also you have to remember, just like thio, wherever there is THI, thio, it contains sulfur. Similarly, azo का मतलब होता है nitrogen. So triazole contains 3 nitrogen and it is a ring compound, not potash. Potash के साथ as का कोई मतलब नहीं, azo का मतलब होता है nitrogen. So it is a 3 nitrogen containing compound, that is a ring compound, that is called triazole. Okay. Then oxathilin. Oxathilin is effective only against fungus belonging to Basidiomycotina and Rhizoctonia solani. This is very important. Since this is only effective against 2, it is very easy to remember also. Effective against Basidiomycetes and Rhizoctonia solani. And these trade names, carboxyn trade name Vitavax, oxycarboxyn trade name Plantavax. These are also very important, because I think you know these 2 trade names. You might have written in your pathology exams also. I have written it a lot. Plantavax and Vitavax. Then carboxyn is used for seed treatment. Carboxyn, that is Vitavax, right? It is used for seed treatment for cereals against smart, especially loose smart of wheat. Loose smart of wheat is a very important disease, and against that we will use Vitavax. Then oxycarboxyn is Plantavax. Where we will use Plantavax? Plantavax is used for the treatment of rust disease of cereal, pulses and other crops. For rust it is Plantavax, for loose smart of wheat and for other smarts it is Vitavax, and that is carboxyn and oxycarboxyn. It comes under the group oxathilin. Okay. Now these are the last 4 benzene compounds. Examples are this: morpholin this, quinone this. Organomercurials used mainly for the treatment of seeds and planting materials. Methoxyethyl mercury chloride, phenyl mercury chloride. From here also there is one PYQ. The PYQ, the questions that are asked in chemicals portion of the physical science, those are not very hard. If you see, the questions are not that hard. Like from this, what they have asked, this was a PYQ 2021. What they have asked organomercurials comes under which group? और एग्जाम्पल उसमें दिया है insecticide, herbicide, fungicide, rodenticide. So if you only remember organomercurials come under fungicide, that is enough for getting the 4 marks. There is no problem, no other marpeat, kuch nahi hai. So the question standard is not that hard, but it is so vast, you have to remember, that is the problem actually. But majorly they have asked question like this only. Organomercurials comes under what? Comes under fungicide. Bas, ho gaya. ठीक है. So types of fungicide on the basis of uses. This table we have made. This table is very, very important. So I was telling you seed protectants or what are used in seed treatment. If you have read your pathology course nicely, this is nothing. Captan, Thiram, organomercurials, carbendazim, carboxyn. Then soil fungicides are Bordeaux mixture, copper oxychloride. Then soil fungicides, this is pre-plant. Here you see. So those are Bordeaux mixture, copper oxychloride, Captan, again, foliage and blossom protectant, fruit protectant, eradicants, tree wound dressers, and antibiotics. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. The examples are there and also which is what it is there. But like most of this you already know. Seed dressing में क्या use होता है, fruit protectant में क्या use होता है, tree wound dresser, already I told Bordeaux mixture is a wound dresser, Choubatia pest is a wound dresser. Wound dresser का मतलब क्या है? There is a wound in the tree. From that wound there is a possibility of invasion of the pathogens, जहाँ से बैक्टीरिया आ सकता है, other pathogen attack कर सकता है. So उस wound में we used it as a dresser. So it is like bandage for us also. Why we use bandage? So that outside organisms cannot attack us, the wound. So same, this is wound dresser. And antibiotics, you know, antibiotics, whatever kills bacteria, that is antibiotic. So we have come to antibacterials. Streptomycin is an antibacterial, very important, very, very important. Antibiotic produced by Streptomyces griseus, again very important. Streptomycin as sold as agromycin 100, streptomycin sulfate, this. These are effective against bacterial blight of pear, apple, citrus canker, bacterial leaf spot of tomato. So since it is an antibiotic, it is antibacterial. Here you can see all the bacterial diseases are written, right? So what is agromycin? Agromycin is a newer formulation which contains streptomycin plus oxytetracycline. Antimycin is produced by Streptomyces griseus and Streptomyces kitasovensis. These are only informations you can remember. Nothing to understand here. So finally, coming to herbicide. After this, we will do questions. So herbicide bhi same hai. The word herbicide is derived from Latin word herba means plant and seed to kill. So plant ko maar denge, so it will be herbicide. Herbicide in the broadest sense is any compound that can kill or severely injure plants and may be used for elimination of plant growth. A weed is a plant, wild or cultivated, that is undesirable in that particular place. So I think all of you have read the definition of weed in your agronomy courses. It is a undesirable plant. We cannot tell any plant as weed aise hi. Whatever is desirable, say we are doing rice cultivation, in that one wheat plant is there. That wheat is also a weed because it is undesirable in a rice field, right? But wheat kya weed hai? That wheat is a cereal crop that we eat also. So we cannot label someone as weed just by seeing the species. By seeing the location, we can label it whether it is weed or not, okay? Largest consumption of herbicide among the crops is rice, okay? It is rice. Then followed by tea and wheat. Very, very important statement. Before 1940, it was the era of inorganic salts, just I told, it was the first generation. Then era of organic herbicide was started with the discovery of 2,4-D, that is dichlorophenoxyacetic acid in 1940, which is also used as a plant hormone by Pokorny. Hammer and Turkey firstly observed that 2,4-D successfully controlled weeds in cereal crops. First selective organic herbicide in world is also 2,4-D. These three are very important. So the discovery of 2,4-D was also done in America, and it was actually they wanted to use it in the Second World War. Okay, they wanted to use it as a biological weapon so that they will use this 2,4-D and they will kill all the cereal, like all the crops in the field. Okay, but fortunately, before they could use this, the war already ended. So they could not use it. And see the thing here, this same 2,4-D which is acting as a plant hormone in lower concentration. In lower concentration, it is acting as a plant hormone, it is acting as auxin. When the concentration is getting high, it is becoming lethal and it is killing the same plant. So you can see how concentration matters, right? In the next class, in the basic chemistry also, we will see a lot about concentrations, molarity, normality, everything. So how much the concentration matters. In low concentration, what is acting as a plant hormone? In high concentration, it is becoming lethal and it is killing that same plant. Okay. So this 2,4-D dichlorophenoxyacetic acid was developed by, like, discovered by Pokorny, and Hammer and Turkey first observed it could control weeds, right? Then again, we have to come to classifications. Based on time of application, this is very known to all of you, I know. Pre-planting herbicide, PPI, applied one day before or just before sowing and incorporated into the soil. These herbicides have higher vapor pressure. Examples include butachlor, trifluralin and EPTC. All dinitroanilines are PPI herbicides, okay? Except pendimethalin, which is strictly a pre-emergence herbicide. This statement is also very, very important. All dinitroanilines are PPI except pendimethalin. Okay? That is a pre-emergence. Then coming to pre-emergence, pre-emergence are applied 1 to 2 days before sowing, before crop emergence. So you can understand the difference between pre-planting and pre-emergence. Okay, this is done before sowing and incorporated into the soil to reduce the drift hazards. Planting means planting where the planting is taken place, mostly transplanting and all. And for pre-emergence, it is applied 1 to 2 days before sowing, that is seed sown crops. And examples include pendimethalin used for both crop and weed, clomazone, atrazine and all those. These are systemic herbicide, again systemic and contact we have read in detail. Post-emergence herbicides are the applied after the emergence of both the crop and the weed, typically 15 to 30 days after sowing, right? Specific applications include wheat, soybean, maize. Examples include 2,4-D, isoproteron, chlorsulfuron and all those. These herbicides include both contact and systemic types. Fine. Classification based on selectivity. Now this selectivity is very important in case of herbicide, right? Selectivity ka matlab kya hai? You select only some plants and kill those. That is very important for herbicides, because in herbicides the main crop is also there, weed is also there. We need selectivity so that it only kills the weeds and leaves the main crop as it is. That is why this is very important. Selectivity is very important in case of herbicides, okay? So selective herbicide, it kills a specific weed species in a mixed population of crop and weed, right? Then examples include all pre-planting, pre-emergence and post-emergence herbicides. The selectivity depends on factors such as herbicidal dose, crop type, crop stage and variety being used. The non-selective herbicide kill all the plants, including both weeds and crops in a mixed population. These are typically applied near roadside, industrial area and non-crop zones, in the bunds and all other places where there is no crop, in that it is used. Examples, the best example of it is definitely glyphosate, that is used very widely in all the areas nowadays. Glyphosate and paraquat are also used in zero tillage system, commonly referred to as chemical ploughing. In zero tillage, we cannot do tillage. That is the reason why there will be weed infestation. For that, we have to use glyphosate and paraquat so that all the weeds are killed, and that is also called chemical ploughing. Very, very important. Since we are not doing physical ploughing, we have to do chemical ploughing by this, okay? This glyphosate, I don't know whether you have seen or not. I have seen it myself in my research. I did my research in rice. So in that, in the bunds and all, they will apply glyphosate, and that glyphosate will burn everything. Whatever is there, it will burn everything and make it clear. But you cannot apply it in the rice field directly, right? It will kill the rice also. So in the rice, for the pre-emerging, pendimethalin is used, and after emergence, bispyruvate sodium is used. I can tell you this because I worked with this, but I cannot tell you for the other crops. So moving on, based on spectrum, again the same thing. Narrow spectrum ka matlab hai it will kill only a very narrow range of plants, okay? Then broad spectrum means it will kill a lot range of plants. So these herbicides control specific group of weeds, such as broadleaf weeds, BLWs, very important. Such as broadleaf weeds, grasses, or so examples we have put it in a divided way between broadleaf weed and grass so that you can remember it easily, and question यहाँ से भी आ सकता है. So broadleaf weed control करता है 2,4-D, sometimes affects cyperus, metasulfuron methyl. So broadleaf weed का मतलब है broadleaf weed, 2,4-D will only kill the broadleaf weed, so it will leave the cereals, it will leave the rice, it will leave the wheat, okay? Then grass control, fluzafiop, fenaxoprop, and all this. These are effective against Phanalis minor and Avena fatua. Continuous use of narrow spectrum herbicide can lead to weed shifting and herbicide resistance. This is also one of the major problem. If you continue use narrow spectrum herbicide specific for a particular weed, that weed will eventually develop the resistance against that herbicide, and that herbicide will be ineffective in the course of the time. Okay. Then broad spectrum herbicide, they control a wide range of weed species but do not kill every weed in the crop field. Examples include atrazine. Atrazine is very important example. It controls most BLWs and some grasses. Then pendimethalin and others. Non-crop areas, glyphosate and paraquat. See, these are used as chemical plows. They will burn everything and these are very effective. Okay. Then classification based on mobility. Mobility तो we all know, contact herbicide, systemic or translocated herbicide, same. इसका examples देख लेना. Less mobility kills the plant primarily after contact with plant tissue, whereas systemic, it will move from treated part to untreated areas through xylem phloem, depending on the nature. All herbicide except contact are systemic in nature. Atrazine is the best example. Then classification of herbicide based on site of application. Site of application, it will be soil applied and foliar applied. So soil applied to soil. All pre-emergence herbicide are included in this. Then foliar applied to the foliage of plant or non-cropped weeds. All post-emergence are example of this. These are very simple. There is nothing to think lot about it. Then classification of herbicide based on chemical nature. Here you can see all the chemical names and all the examples. I have nothing to tell here. If you want, you can take a screenshot, you can take this PPT, you can take this PDF and you can read it, because read it in such a way. I also understand remembering this totally is a huge problem, but read it in such a way so that देख के थोड़ा सा trigger हो जाए. Some tricks I will tell you, because here you can see triazine, atrazine, simazine, propazine. Just by seeing the name of the compound, you can tell it is a triazine. Most compounds will fall in this thumb rule only, where just by seeing the name, you can understand what is the chemical classification. For some, sadly, it will not work. In that case, you have to remember. Okay. Here also you can see thiocarbamate, it is benthiocarbon. All right. Then substituted urea, it is manuron, diuron. So majorly they will ask such a compound only, which you can solve like this mostly. Dinitroaniline also you can see, trifluoralin, fluchloralin. Wherever this is there, it is a dinitroaniline. Okay. But here in case of amide and acetamide, you can see butachlor, alachlor, it does not fall in that pattern. Okay. So again, this is also a same table of that thing only. If you want, you can take a screenshot. We have included this just for, it is just like a comprehensive information in a single place. So if you want, you can take screenshot, you can read it also. All right. Then coming to some very important herbicides, The first group will be definitely acetamides, that is amides and anilids. These herbicides are often referred to as chloroacetamides. Okay, chloroacetamides बोलता है, इसीलिए see butachlor, alachlor, peritrachlor. Wherever there is this chlor, it will contain chloracetamide. This is also called chloracetamide or chloracetanilide. Okay, because it contains chlorine, especially in the anilid group. So typically applied to soil as pre-emergence. यहाँ पे पूरा पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. Read only the keywords. Pre-emergence, except for propanil, which is foliar. Mode of action is inhibiting germination and cell elongation, known as protein synthesis inhibitor. Very important. Acetamides are protein synthesis inhibitors. Okay, they disrupt protein formation, critical for weed growth. Then examples. This last line is very important, because why it is important? From this also you will see there is a PYQ where they have asked butachlor falls under which category. Okay, butachlor is used as extensively in India in the form of granules in rice as a post-emergence herbicide. Then chloroaliphatic acids, this also the same, you can read it, but I don't think there is any question from this. Then moving on, triazole, again the same thing. It is non-selective, effective as both pre-emergence and post-emergence, ideal for chemical ploughing. White leaves due to the absence of chlorophyll. That is why it is called albinism. Mode of action is inhibits carotenoid biosynthesis. Simple. Carotenoid biosynthesis को inhibit करके it will make the leaves white, so it will not be able to do photosynthesis and the plant will die. Then azoles are also again broad spectrum, pre-emergence, effective against annual grasses and broadleaf weeds. The mode of action is PPO inhibitor and disrupts the membranes. Then benzoic acids are translocated. Okay, herbicides with acidic nature, herbicides such as 2,4,5-T and dicamba lays down in the soil, effectively controlling deep-rooted weeds and shrubs. This is important. Benzoic acids are used to control deep-rooted weeds and shrubs. Okay, and benzoic acid and benzonitriles are different. You can see benzoic acid are translocated, whereas benzonitriles act as contact herbicides, and these are not systemic. Okay. Then bipyridiniums, this is also very important. Non-selective, non-residual. Key herbicide is paraquat. Paraquat is the most important example. इसमें और कुछ याद रखना नहीं है. You can only remember paraquat and bipyridium. It comes under bipyridium group and formulated as dichloride and diquat. Paraquat and diquat साथ में आते हैं. So this comes under the group bipyridium. Okay. Then paraquat and diquat are non-selective. Non-selective मतलब they will kill everyone. जो भी वहाँ पे present हो, they will kill everyone. They will not leave anyone. These are post-emergence herbicide with no residual activity. This is a very good thing. Good control of annual weeds, poor control of perennial weeds as they cannot translocate into the root system. Highly water soluble, undergoes photodecomposition, highly sensitive to light. PS1 mode of action is PS1 inhibitor of photosynthesis, produces H2O2 after autooxidation leading to plant death via lipid peroxidation. Okay, so it will inhibit the PS1 photosystem 1. That will result in photosynthesis disruption and the weed will finally die. Then dinitroanilines, I was already telling, it is derived from aniline. Aniline, I think all of you know. That is an aniline. Okay. So aromatic amine. So this is NH2, right? And this is a benzene ring. So it is having low melting point and all, primarily used as pre-plant incorporation, except for pendimethalin. We have read this. Pendimethalin is pre-emergence. Okay. Primarily used as grass killers. Please remember the examples. And mode of action is binds to tubulin protein. Okay. Essential for microtubule, needed for cell division. So it blocks the cell division and that's how it kills the weeds. Pendimethalin is low volatile, effective as pre-emergence herbicide. Again and again it is coming. I also told it is used in rice also. So pendimethalin is very important. Whichever are the important herbicides, only remembering those will be enough. You don't have to remember all. Pendimethalin, paraquat, diquat, then fluchloralin. Okay. These are also, see, wherever there is alin, it will come under dinitroanilin. It is that easy. Then dinitrophenols. Then diphenyl ether herbicides, these things you can read. I don't think these are that much important. Only we have put the information so that you can read. Okay. Please read the mode of action in both and also this. So then there is organophosphorus herbicide also. Organophosphate insecticide, so we have already read. There is organophosphorus herbicide also. So it is derived from glycine and इसका सबसे बढ़िया best example है glyphosate. I told you already, glyphosate is a non-selective, very broad spectrum herbicide. It kills everything and इसका trade name है Roundup. This is also very important. If you want to read the trade names and the chemicals, it is given in Nimrod Sunda. There is one table. I think that is enough. Otherwise, you can ask ChatGPT or Gemini also. They will also make you a nice list. That also you can read. But reading it in a list form, I don't know how effective that will be because remembering so many is very difficult. But Roundup to yaad hona hi chahiye. Roundup is glyphosate. Every one of us know that Roundup is glyphosate, right? It is non-selective, non-volatile and systemic translocated herbicide. Slower action compared to its systemic movement, used in non-cropped areas. This is the dosage, 1 kg per hectare, zero tillage, herbicide resistant crops and chemical ploughing. It disrupts the shikimic acid pathway. This is also very important, very important. How does glyphosate work? It disrupts the shikimic acid pathway through inhibition of the enzyme 5 this which is also called EPSP. So in the exam, if you find EPSP synthesis, anything related to shikimic acid, anything related to EPSP synthesis, that आंख बंद करके उसमें glyphosate मार देना. Glyphosate will be the answer. The resulting deficiency in EPSP production leads to the reduction in aromatic amino acid that are vital for protein synthesis and plant growth. Okay. Then phenoxyalkanoic acid. This is preferred because इसका सबसे बढ़िया example है 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T, right? 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T. 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T is also called Agent Orange. If anyone is there, can you tell me what is this Agent Orange? ये कहाँ पे use हुआ था? Why is it called Agent Orange? Why is such a name? What is Agent Orange? ये कहाँ पे use हुआ था? क्या हुआ था? Can anyone tell me? Not World War II. World War II में तो was it World War II? I don't think. It was not World War II, Pawan. Agent Orange was used in Vietnam War. It was used in Vietnam War, जो हुआ था between USA and Vietnam. So USA employed this Agent Orange as a biological weapon. This is also a question. Please remember, Agent Orange was a biological weapon, that is a defoliator. Vietnam is widely covered with trees, evergreen trees, and बहुत सारे पेड़ है, जंगल है. So the soldiers used to fight after hiding behind those trees. So what USA did, they made this Agent Orange, which is 2,4-D plus 2,4,5-T, which is a effective defoliator. So they sprayed it across all the forests so that जितने भी evergreen trees है, जितना भी forest है, all the leaves of that fall down so that the location of the enemy will be exposed. Okay. So this was used in Vietnam and it resulted in a loss of huge amount of forest land also. But still USA could not win that war. I think all of you know. Vietnam won that war and that was a miracle, you can say. So phenoxyalkanoic acid is the best example है 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T. This is nothing. 2,4-D is 2,4-dichloro, 2,4,5 is 2,4,5-trichloro. Okay. Baki it is same. So it is preferred for due to faster absorption. These are selective, systemic and post-emergence. It has dual properties of PGR and herbicide. I am telling again and again, this is very important. It acts as auxin at low doses and at high dose it exhibits antioxin activity functioning as an herbicide. So when you increase the dose, it only becomes a poison. So it is true for everything. If you are eating biryani, if you increase the dose, you are eating every day 5 times, so you can understand what is going to happen. So 2,4-D is applied at the tillering stage, that is 30 to 35 DS, very important. This is also very, very important. It functions as an uncoupler disrupting ATP synthesis. Okay. Then phenylurea. Phenylurea is a grass killer, but it might have broad spectrum also. It inhibits photosynthesis at PS2. Examples are monuron, diuron, isoproteron. Okay. So here you can see, जहाँ पे भी last में uron आएगा, those are nothing but phenylureas. Okay. And here also soil persistence. This is very important. This might come in exam this time also. What is the percentage? तो इसको याद रखना. DMF. जो फर्स्ट IPL हुआ था उसका स्पॉन्सर था DLF, इस L को हटा के DMF. ठीक है. DMF is the. Then isoproteron. Isoproteron is also very important because it is also called wheat herbicide and highly effective against Phalaris minor. This statement is very, very important. Isoproteron is widely used in wheat cultivation. It is also called wheat herbicide. It is highly, highly effective against Phalaris minor. Okay. It is the largest manufactured and consumed herbicide in India. Okay. This is also very important. This isoproteron overall is very important. Please read this. यहाँ से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. Continuous use of isoproteron leads to development of resistant biotype of Phalaris minor. Still, we use it extensively. These are not that important. Then triazine herbicides, I already told you, triaz, जहाँ पे as है, इसका मतलब है nitrogen is there. So it contains 3 nitrogen atoms. The group of herbicide covers the largest acreage globally. Very important. In India, the highest used is isoproteron. Largest acreage globally, if they ask, it is triazine. And triazine का सबसे best example है atrazine and simazine. Okay, they work by inhibition of PS2 of photosynthesis. I think all of you know, you have read the Z scheme of photosynthesis. There is PS2, then there is PS1 in this side, and there is this Z scheme. I think all of you remember that. So it is the same. So atrazine is the formerly the world's #1 herbicide by acreage. Very important. Higher solubility makes it very effective in dryland agriculture. Again, very important. Primarily controls BLW, but also effective against grasses. Used both as pre-emergence and post-emergence. Simazine is used as a soil sterilant. Application timing mainly used as pre-emergence, but it is less soluble. It is less soluble than atrazine. All right. It is less soluble than atrazine. Atrazine had the formerly world's #1 herbicide by acreage. Okay. Then comes metribuzin. Metribuzin is used in potato. Very important. Later found foliar application in soybean. Due to excessive use in soybean, it got the title of soybean herbicide. So wheat herbicide was isoproteron, then metribuzin is soybean herbicide. In potato, tolerance is due to conjugation, whatever. Metribuzin का trade name कोई लिख सकता है? This is a PYQ. What is the trade name of metribuzin? This is a PYQ. Previous year question. Can anyone tell me? Asymmetrical triazines are also called triazinones. So these are having 3 nitrogen atoms arranged in position 1, 2 and 4. It contains the ring. इसका example है metribuzin. Metribuzin का trade name anyone? कोई नहीं? If you are not writing, I will write it for you. M के साथ M याद रखना. M and M is related. So metribuzin का trade name है Matador. All right. Matador, I don't know whether you tell that to the trucks in our side. The tracks are also called Matador. Sorry, it will be Matador. MATADOR, Matador. All right. Then mode of action. This you can read. This we have put just the examples and how they work. I don't think it is that much important, but just for your information, if you want. Remember, this is very important. I will tell you. यहाँ पे important क्या क्या है I will tell you. This is very 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 important. This is also very important. This whole thing is important. And then in this photosynthesis inhibitor में कौन कौन आता है? This is also very important. ठीक. Then we have come to the end part. What are adjuvants? Adjuvant is a substance added to herbicide formulation to enhance its effectiveness by improving spreading, wetting, penetration, translocation and slow release. This is just like fertilizer में हम जैसे filler material use करते हैं. It is just like that. Adjuvant is a substance used to enhance its effectiveness. There are 8 types of adjuvants that you can read here. Antidote counters the effect of poison. Surfactant, we all know what is a surfactant. Facilitates wetting, dispersing, emulsifying. Surfs are emulsifying properties. You know how the surfs clean our clothes. The same property only. They form emulsion and remove the oil from our clothes. Then coupling agent. Then humectant, that is hygroscopic agent. Prevent rapid drying of herbicide spray on plant foliage. Then stickers are the film forming agents. These are also called deposit builders. Then compatibility agents, activators and foaming agent. Foaming agents are used for controlling the drift. Drift control is a major thing in any chemical application. When you are applying it in the field and it is drifting away to the field of some other person or it is drifting away to outside, फिर उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है ना? So drifting is a major problem of chemical application which needs to be stopped. And then thickening agent, particulate agents, these are there. Herbicide resistance. The resistance of Senecio vulgaris to triazine herbicide was first detected in the USA. It is the first documented case of herbicide resistance. Very, very, very important. Okay, question might come. Very important. In India also, this is more important than the first line. This is double important. All right. In India, the first case was reported in Phalaris minor. Just I was telling. Developed resistance to isoproteron in the northwestern wheat belt, Punjab and Haryana in 1992-1993. Okay, the highest number of wheat species have been reported resistant to atrazine because these had a highest acreage globally. तो इतना ज़्यादा इसका use हुआ. Highest number of wheat species reported resistant to atrazine. Wheat crop has the maximum number of resistant cases reported globally. Herbicide resistance is the inherent ability of plant to survive and reproduce following exposure to dose of herbicide normally lethal to the wild type. So if the wild type is exposed to the same amount of dose, it will die, but the herb like the weed that we are trying to kill, that is not dying, survive and reproduce as usual. Okay. Now these are the bioherbicides. It consists of microorganisms such as pathogens and other microbes or phytotoxins derived from it is natural means of weed control. We all know that. It is having short environmental persistence, minimum soil and water contamination, negligible harm. Bioherbicides represent less than 10% of biopesticide market globally. By 2016, 13 biopesticides were globally marketed. Okay. So in this, you can see the name of the product, the content and the target weed. You can read this if you want, but I don't think this is that important. What is important is taken in the next slide and this slide. Okay. So these two are the last. So biopesticides are certain type of pesticide derived from such natural materials. This I have taken alag se because this is mentioned in syllabus alag se. Are Satish, welcome. So biopesticides are certain types of pesticides. Biochemical pesticides or botanical pesticides. Botanical is also mentioned, so please read it once. These are naturally occurring substances, that is plant extracts. Biochemical pesticides include substances that interfere with mating. इसका example है nicotine, azadirachtin, pyrethrin, rotenone, which we have already read in detail, right? Then microbial biopesticide, example a bacterium, fungus or virus. Simple, whatever is microbial we cannot see with naked eye. इसका भी example we have read in detail, right? Bacillus thuringiensis, then Bacillus subtilis, virus NPV, then fungus is Trichoderma and Beauveria bassiana. Plant incorporated protectants, these are pesticidal substances that plants produce from genetic material that has been added, that is Bt cotton. I think this is very easy for all of you, there is nothing new. This is very important. Some other botanicals and their sources, I have only listed the important things here so that if question comes, you can do it directly. Ryannia is from Ryannia speciosa, very easy to remember. Sabardilla is from this, please read it. Limonil and linalool, this is from citrus, very easy to, lemon ke paas jo naam hai, that is citrus. Strychnine is very important. Strychnine is a very important poison. Please remember that. Strychnine comes from Strychnos nux vomica. It is used as a rodenticide and avicide. Avicide ka matlab hai bird, right? It kills birds also. So Acorus comes from sweet flag and Quassia comes from Quassia amara. Now what is alkaloid? Alkaloid we have read. Please write one example of alkaloid. Alkaloid लेके बहुत सारा बात हो गया already. Alkaloid का एक example I already told PYQ. Huh? Alkaloid is a large family of nitrogen containing secondary metabolites. Nitrogen containing, very important. Secondary metabolite, very important. Found in many vascular plants are alkaloids. The properties are non-volatile, water insoluble and crystalline solid, colorless, bitter in taste, heterocyclic nitrogen compounds, soluble in alcohol or other. Morphine, codeine, अरे हम आज जो पढ़े हैं उसका एक example दो भाई alkaloid. Among all the compounds that we have read, we read one limonoid and we read one alkaloid. Yes, nicotine. Correct. Nicotine mein dekha nahi. And what was the limonoid? We read one limonoid also, which is also a tetranortriterpenoid. What was that? It was azadirachtin, right? So these are the examples, chemical class and the alkaloids. Okay. So nicotine comes under pyrrolidine, indole is strychnine, quinoline is quinine, isoquinoline is morphine. These are the examples of alkaloids. Okay, you can read it once. Then finally essential oil. Essential oil I have put because यहाँ से PYQ आया है in SRF. That's why I have put. So essential oil is concentrated hydrophobic liquid containing volatile chemical compounds. Essential, this is a PYQ which I was telling. Okay, essential oils are terpenes, mostly monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes. This is very important. They have given a question, essential oils contain, and in the options they have given monoterpene, diterpene, polyterpene and some other thing. So it should be monoterpene and sesquiterpene. If both are in the option, both will be the answer. If not, monoterpene is the major. Okay, monoterpene will be the answer. Fine. Terpenes are composed of isoprene unit. Okay, isoprene se terpene banta hai. Easy to remember. Then these are the examples. Difference from essential oil is that fixed oils are non-volatile, whereas essential oils are volatile. Okay. Then Bacillus thuringiensis, we have already read it in detail. Commercial formulation is also we have read in detail. Now these are some important, this is the last slide I suppose, yes. This is the last slide which will contain all the information. After this we will move to the question. So biopesticide market share is fungus, bacteria, NPV, okay. Remember it, fungus, bacteria, NPV, very important. Most consumed biopesticide is Trichoderma viridae. Trichoderma viridae is a fungus, right? Bioherbicide is Phytophthora palmivora, Colletotrichum and Streptomyces hygroscopicus. Entomopathogenic fungi is a fungus that can kill insects, example Beauveria bassiana. I think you have all read this in your entomology courses. Then entomopathogenic nematode are these examples. Pusa, again, this is coming from IRI only, and whatever is coming from IRI, there is a chance it will be asked in the question. Last year in SRF, if you know, they have asked who is the vice chancellor of IRI, okay? That is the level of question they are asking. So please remember, Pusa nemagel, jahan pe bhi Pusa hai means it is coming from IRI. Pusa STFR meter, similarly Pusa nemagel. It is an indigenous EPN formulation, entomopathogenic nematode formulation containing this and this, okay? Please remember this, very important. Then Parthenium or the Congress weed, which is one of the most notorious weed that we are facing the problem, that can be successfully controlled by Zygogramma bicolorata, okay? That can be successfully controlled. This is also a very important question. Parthenium control mein kaun sa use hota hai? That will be Zygogramma bicolorata, okay? Then Orobanche, also called broom rape, total root parasite on solanaceous plants, semi-root parasite found in sorghum, maize and striga is a semi-root. In this, I will tell you one information. Please make a table where you will, the table will be right, total parasite, semi-parasite, and here you make a column like root and stem, okay. Please make a table like this and DHR fill kar lena. Orobanche and striga we already read in the last slide, and baki jo stem ka bhi hai, that also you read. I don't remember at this moment, otherwise I would have done it for you. So please make a table and read that, because this is a very important question that comes regularly, okay? That comes regularly. So please remember that. CLOS, Orobanche, striga, C and L क्या है यार? थोड़ा full form लिख दो. C and L क्या है? Cuscuta and Loranthus. Yes, yes, yes. Total stem is Cuscuta and partial stem parasite is Loranthus. Yes, very, very good. Thank you, Pawan. That is very nice. So please make a table. Is charo mein se, from these four that I told, any combination might come and they might ask in the exam. Okay, any combination might come. Total root, total stem, partial root. So please remember. Okay, we will directly jump to the question. सारा question हम पढ़ के आए हैं. First, please tell me the answer of this question. Essential oil is mainly comprised of monoterpene, diterpene, limonene, acetogenins. This page, all questions are from SRF, okay? These are the SRF PYQs. From the next page, we will go to the JRF PYQs. So, baki I know JRF PYQs you have already done, and ratta aise maar liya hai ke there is nothing more to be done, but yeah. So these are the SRF PYQs. From this also it might come, because the question base is same, right? So essential oil is mainly comprised of monoterpenes. We have discussed it, yes, in the last portion only. Now come to this question. Bordeaux mixture is composed of, this I was telling, they will try to confuse you in all the ways. Here you can see. So can you tell me the answer? Bordeaux mixture is composed of, they have tried to confuse you in the best way possible. Still, you have to find out the answer. Only one answer is correct. Only one answer is coming. Where are the others? Yes, yes, yes. I told you, right? Copper sulfate is non-negotiable. Copper sulfate है तो copper sulfate रहेगा ही रहेगा. उसके साथ this is the lime, right? Very good. Now come to this question. This question I wrote in the last X slide before only. This question is, Matador is the trade name of which herbicide? This we just read. This is metribuzin. So here you can see the level is not that much high, but थोड़ा थोड़ा कुछ चीज याद रखना पड़ेगा. That's the sad part, है ना? But कोई बात नहीं, sad है तो क्या है? Nicotine is found in tobacco plant. Very nice exam question setter, huh? Nicotine is found in tobacco plant and it is used as insecticide. It is a, tell me, it is a, this also we have read, we have discussed lots and lots of times. It is an alkaloid. We have discussed it in detail, right? Alkaloids are nitrogen containing heterocyclic substances. Very good. I am very happy to see your performance. Now coming to again, this question also we have discussed. Abamectin's EC is registered in India for the purpose of controlling. Abamectin is most effective against which? Abamectin comes under the class avermectins, right? Streptomycin, avermetylis, everything we read. And it is Lepidoptera. Yes. So yes, PYQ में तो एक भी गलत नहीं होना चाहिए, because PYQ you should be very thorough. Now, can you match list 1 with list 2? What is name of the pesticide and biological activity? This one, this question. If you know one, like one of this is a major. So if you know one compound, then this answer will be done actually. Anyone would like to guess? Alright, so it is a very important acaricide which kills mites, that is this dicophol. So if you know dicophol is one, so you can get the answer. The answer to this question will be option 1. Alright, the answer will be option 1. So dinotfuran is insecticide, then azoxystrobin is fungicide, then flufesanate is herbicide. By seeing the names also, you can understand furan comes for insecticide only, strobins comes for fungicide, and flufesanate will come for herbicide. All right. Then in chlorantraniliprole GR formulation, what does GR mean? This is also a very nice question, I must say. In chloranitriprole GR formulation, what is the meaning of GR? Liquid formulation, suspension formulation, solid formulation, greasy formulation. Tell me. Pawan is telling solid formulation. क्यों solid formulation क्यों? Solid के साथ GR का क्या मतलब है? Solid के साथ GR का क्या मतलब है? Very nice. GR formulation means it is a granular formulation. So deliberately for confusing you, they have given you this greasy formulation, but it will not be the answer. The answer will be solid formulation, right? That is a very nice question, I must say. Now we have entered the JRF domain. This is JRF 2022, I suppose. This question, PYQ. The pesticide used in the foundation of buildings for preventing termite attack. Do you know this? If you don't know this, I don't think we can go on. This have to know, it is not BHC. According to NTA answer key, it is aldrin. Okay. Aldrin is very important pesticide used for preventing termite attack. ऐसा एक दो क्वेश्चन अगर आएगा तो if you know it you can attempt, otherwise it's better to leave, you know, because जिंदगी में सब कुछ तो हमें नहीं मिल सकता है ना, कुछ चीजें छोड़ना पड़ता है. And the person who knows to leave at the right time only achieves success, you know. So the first fungal antibiotic discovered was, which is the first fungal antibiotic that was discovered? This is also a tricky question, है ना? But I think all of you know this is normal history. Who discovered, when discovered, कैसे bread में discovered हुआ था? Yes, yes. The answer will be penicillin. The first fungal antibiotic discovered was penicillin. All of we know that. Butachlor belongs to, we have made huge discussion about that. Butachlor belongs to, we have read about this. Yes. This comes under amide group, okay? So, amide will be the answer. Yeah, it is very nice to see you are writing the answers. I hope you were attentive in the class. That is very nice to see. This amide group is also called chloroacetamide or chloroacetinalide, okay? Which of the following is not a herbicide? Very nice question again. Which of the following is not a herbicide? Tell me. You can see the level of the questions are not that high. ऐसा कोई question नहीं है कि जो कर ही नहीं सकते, right? We can do if we are a bit cautious. Sodium arsenate तो नहीं है भाई. Why are you saying that? Yes. The correct answer is polyphosphate. बाकी sodium chlorate, sodium arsenite, triazine, all are herbicides. Polyphosphate is not a herbicide. यूं तो देखा जाए तो polyphosphate, ammonium polyphosphates are used as fertilizers. Yes. So it is not a herbicide. Which of the following is used as herbicidal agent? Tell me, which of the following is used as herbicidal agent? This is a very easy question. This should not take much time. Yes, Agriculture University is saying C. What 24D? Yes, this is a very easy one. Very sitter. Highly toxic. I was telling you repeatedly while I was dealing with the codes, right? Highly toxic insecticide according to WHO classification are coded as which color? What is the color of highly toxic? Highly toxic और extremely toxic में ऐसे सिर को उलझा मत देना, है ना? Red is extremely toxic. ठीक? Yellow is highly toxic. Blue is moderately toxic. And then green is slightly toxic. ST. है ना? So the correct answer would be yellow. Okay. Now tell me the first organic pesticide to be used commercially was. This one is a very important question. Let's see if you can do this. Which is the first organic pesticide which was used commercially? Can anyone tell which is the first organic pesticide which was used commercially? 4. No, 4 is not the answer. First, सबसे पहले 1874 में किसका डिस्कवरी हुआ था? Yes, पवन. This is a previous year question of 2022 PYQ. Please read the PYQs and keep them in the tip of your fingers. The PYQs are very, very important. The answer to this is DDT. DDT was the first commercial organic pesticide. DDT is organic pesticide, right? It is organochlorine. Huh? Synthetic organic, है ना? So first organic pesticide to be used commercially was DDT. Now what is Bordeaux mixture? Bordeaux mixture क्या है? Organochlorine, antibiotic, organophosphate, inorganic fungicide. Someone is writing organic pesticide as Bordeaux mixture. कैसे भाई? What all are you writing? Yes, it is inorganic fungicide. बोर्डो मिक्सचर जो है वह बोर्डो मिक्सचर में तो ऑर्गेनिक कुछ है ही नहीं ना. इट इज सिंपली CuSO4 plus lime. What is organic in this? Nothing is organic. Lime is also inorganic. CuSO4 is also inorganic. So यहाँ पे तो बोर्डो बारगंडी चला गया. Out of 2,4-D and DDT should be the answer. So the answer will be DDT, of course, because it was discovered long back. This I told you 2,4-D was discovered during the time of Second World War, whereas DDT was done in 1800s, 1874, है ना? So the correct answer of this will be inorganic fungicide. Try to correlate everything and it is very easy, don't worry. Nicotine belong to, again we find a repeat. इसमें ही हमें repeat मिल रहा है, देख रहे हो? In the PYQs only we are getting repeats. So when you sit for this times JRF, again you will find so many repeats. Huh? There will be no problem in doing the questions. Don't worry, trust us. There will be no problem. Organomercurial compounds are, this I also told. Organomercurial compounds are herbicide, fungicide, fumigant, insecticide. Tell me. Which are the organomercurial compounds? हाँ हाँ एल्कालॉइड तो समझ में आ गया, उसको छोड़ो, अब आगे चलते हैं, आगे निकलो. This also I have told while I was taking the this I also told while I was discussing. It is not insecticide, it is not insecticide. Organomercurial compounds are you don't remember organomercurial compounds? Yes, it is fungicides. We read it, no? In this only I told you this was a PYQ. You remember? You forgot. Organomercurials are fungicides. Okay, these are the chemical classification of fungicide. Organomercurials are the fungicides. I told you the level of question will not be that high. The level of question will be this much only. ये क्या है, वो क्या है, how, what is this, what is that. So it will be fungicide. Okay. So that makes us the end of this chemical session. So I know agrochemicals is a tough portion and agrochemicals is difficult. I understand that, and all of us understand that. We have also passed through the same torture while we were also reading agrochemicals. But this PPT, I can assure you, this is so comprehensive. If you read this PDF once and go for your exam, I don't think you need to study anything else, because this has been prepared very nicely by Rohit and by me. Both of us prepared it and it is so nice. All the information you will find it here. Whatever is there, उसमें important क्या है वो भी मैं बोल दिया. I have tried to do my best. The problem with agrochemicals is there is not much concept which you need to understand. Okay, so you can go on. Sir, how many questions come from stat? In JRF it is not much. In SRF it is much. In JRF maximum you can say 2 to 3 maximum. उससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं आता है. No. And that too they will ask easy questions only. T test, lower sample size, Z test, more sample size, and so on. उसमें ज़्यादा नहीं आता है. So after all of you guys told, we have planned to do a basic chemistry and biomolecules marathon, because biomolecule और basic chemistry से भी बहुत सारा question आता है. So only for you guys we have convinced the management to do another marathon class that will be probably done on 25th और यानी कि आज से 3 दिन बाद. So 25th के बाद भी you will have 5 to 7 days. I think that will be enough. Biomolecules में भी ज़्यादा समझाने का कुछ नहीं है. That is understand, like memorizing only. But basic chemistry, you have to understand a lot of things. And I will only take that atomic structure, then periodic table, whatever is there in the syllabus. I have seen the syllabus, and whatever is there, we will try to read that. The organic compounds, the alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and then those alcohols, then CHO group, carboxyl, carbonyl groups, ketone, aldehyde, everything we will cover. Normality, molarity, उसके related जो sums आता है, solubility, that is also there, solubility का जो sums आता है, solubility product का जो आता है, then ionic activity, everything we will try to cover in that, जितना हो पाएगा, because marathon is time bound, right? We cannot exceed more than that. We cannot waste your time also. This is the time for revision. जितना भी मैराथन देखो, you have to revise. That is the only thing. So we will not take much of your time. जितना हो पाएगा, we will try to cover. Biomolecule we will cover. And sir, basic chemistry from booster enough or not? It is enough, but not, like, I cannot say it is fully enough also, because basic chemistry का concept, it will, you have to develop it from your 11th and 12th. तो वो अगर ठीक है तो ठीक है. Like normality, molarity, that is class 11, 12 concept. So if it is correct, you can go on doing that. That is not a problem, right? So basic chemistry you can read from booster. Booster काफी अच्छा है, काफी ज़्यादा अच्छा है, but still थोड़ा सा NCERT से भी देख सकते हो. The basic ones, very basic ones, molarity, normality, molality, है ना? हाँ, H मीन्स हाइड्रोजन, बहुत बढ़िया. हाइड्रोजन, हीलियम, लिथियम, बेरिलियम, बोरॉन, वो सब तो होगा. Then across the group, across the period, क्या होता है, क्या नहीं होता है, what happens, what not happens, all those things are there. Those also we will try to cover. The most important is ionic equilibrium. उसमें से बहुत सारे sums आते हैं, you know, equilibrium constant, solubility product, then what is the solubility of this salt, ionic strength, I, उसका जो formula है half CI square. So we will meet again after 3 or 4 days when I will be prepared, you know. So 25th or 26th, maximum 26th, we will not delay it further than that because exam is coming near. So at least there will be 5-10 days. Sir, PYQ तो हो गया है ना? PYQ is already in the channel. You can see in the description. Rohit has covered it. 2025 PYQ full covered है. उसके पहले भी PYQ is covered already. Please go in the description box. उसमें PYQ का link दिया हुआ है. You can see that. So chalo, I also know this agrochemicals is a bit difficult, but I tried my best. So if you like the session, you can please like the video, and also you can drop a comment that will motivate me. So today is the second last day, and we will be meeting another day, and after that we will meet on the exam. Exam ke baad we will do the analysis, and all the best for your exam. Sir, PYQ is already there. PYQ is already there in the channel. Why are you spamming the comment box? PYQ is there in the channel. इस वीडियो का description box में जाओ, वहाँ पे PYQ का link है. 25, 24, all PYQs are covered. उसको जाके देखो. 25 PYQ has done by Rohit already. बाकी also you can get the PYQ from the AgriAddict website. वहाँ से PYQ लो, वहाँ से answer की लो, and try to solve it yourself also. नहीं तो कितना रट्टा मारोगे? How much will you memorize? Okay, PYQ is very, very important. All the questions in PYQ should be on the tip of your fingertips. Okay. क्या लिख रहे हो भाई? पार्टी इन IRI by रौनक सर. हाँ बिल्कुल, तुम लोग बस IRI आ जाओ, उसके बाद तो एकदम पार्टी तो होगा ही भाई. I will be the happiest person. So ठीक है, I'll end this session now. If you have anything else to know, if you have any confusion, you can write it in the comment of this video, and you can like this video, drop a comment in, so that I will be motivated. And chalo, good night everyone.